Good morning to you. Welcome in to the Marc Morning Show as I continue to figure out why my headphones are not operational at this hour. Nothing quite works very well at 5 in the morning, does it? We're happy you're with us, though. A little bit of rain. Looks like maybe heading in at some point today, probably before the show is over. So we'll see how it affects the morning commute with Sue Thomas here, who she'll be in with us shortly. Hopefully, no big deal. I don't think they're expecting any severe weather today. I guess there's some outside chance of a thunderstorm, but we should be in pretty good shape. It is tax day. Well, how fitting that it's going to be a crappy weather day on tax day, isn't it?
Well, people who waited till the last minute, which would typically be me on any other year before I was married, that way you don't feel bad about missing some fun activities outside because the weather sucks.
Typically, those people are the ones that owe money, right? Don't you know?
No, I used to get money back, and
You'd wait till the last
Yes,
minute?
I hated doing taxes so much. Seriously. It would stress me out. And it wasn't even like I had a complicated tax return. I just really hated it that much.
Yeah, that's funny. If they owe me money, man, I'm going in February as soon as I can get to an accountant.
Well, Mark, see, you're being too logical about it because that makes complete sense. What I did made absolutely no sense.
Well, in an ideal world, let's just call it what it is, you don't want the government to owe you money because that means you overpaid them during the course of the year.
Right.
You don't want that. That's not the idea. You have not optimized your tax paying if you get a big refund every year, and that's what you're banking on to go on a big trip or something. You're giving the government your money to hold for the year and then hoping they give you some of it back at the end of the year. That should never be your goal. Your goal should – now, you may get a surprise tax deduction this year because of changes in the law, and you get a little bigger than expected return. That's great. But you should want to give your money to the government and wait for them to give it back to you. You should just keep it yourself and stick it in a savings account.
Did I hear this morning that the average person is expected to get 26% more back this year compared to last year?
I had not heard that. I would not be surprised.
Pretty sure that's what I heard, which would be great. And, that's
keeping our fingers crossed.
That's a result of what Trump has put in place.
It is. And hopefully people will start to realize that. I heard one of his officials yesterday. I'm trying to think of who it was. I've got the soundbite here somewhere. But he basically said that if oil prices come back down, when oil prices come back down, which is already starting to happen a little bit this morning, just on word that there might be another round of talks with Iran. I don't know what they have left to talk about at this point, but on word that there might be another round of talks, oil prices have started to drop. And I think it was Kevin Hassett. And what his point was is that if oil prices come down, the effective inflation rate drops to about zero. That the primary driver of the inflation at this point is gas prices being higher than they should be. Mm-hmm. So, I thought that was interesting. Now, just like we talked about yesterday, as people were texting us, it's going to take a long time because these companies, these gas companies, the convenience stores, everybody that sells gasoline, they're going to take their sweet time reducing it, and they're going to scrape every bit of profit they can out of it. So I think the least I paid was $3.02. I paid close to $3 a gallon for diesel not all that long ago, and now it's $5.
Yikes!
And even if it comes down to $4, that's better. But it cost me $103 to fill up my tank yesterday.
Yeah, I think at Costco it was around $3.59, I want to say. And,
right.
I have an SUV, but I think it's a 4-cylinder. I think I paid, I don't know, like $45 to fill up.
Last time I filled up, the gas machine stopped on me because I reached the limit.
The limit?
Yeah, it was like $125 or $150.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
So then it just stopped.
How big a tank do you have in that truck?
35.
Wow, mine's only 25. Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Or 26 or something
See,
like that.
it's funny. We would love to have a truck, but this makes me not want one right here, this conversation.
I don't drive it very often, but it's usually
When
just
I
for
do.
camping. But I put that money in, and I was like, this thing just stopped. All right. And the bad part was I don't even think I was full at the time. Like,
Wow.
I didn't fill it all the way up.
You felt like you were full of something.
Yeah.
Having to pay that much for a tank of gas. Yeah, that was a little bit of a shock. I've got some statistics I'm going to share with you this morning since it's in honor of Tax Day. It's always good to remember how much people are paying and who's paying how much of what's going on out there, because the tax policy in this country is so screwed up and out of whack. And not to hear Bernie Sanders tell it, not to hear Barack Obama or Kamala Harris tell it, you got to pay your fair share. And the top 1% of taxpayers, I'm going to double check my number here, they pay like 40% of all taxes in the country. I'm pretty sure that was the statistic. The top 1% of taxpayers pay 40% of all the taxes in the country. Shocking. And the bottom bottom of the taxpayers paid 3% of all federal taxes. So, it's pretty stunning numbers, actually, when you look at who's paying what. So we're going to get to that for you coming up here a little bit later. We got some good stuff for you today. We're going to talk to Brian Riegel a little later. He's a board member. He is a board member of the organization that is trying to protect some legal hemp production of products in the state of Missouri. Because if you'll remember, when the law changed a year ago, the goal was to ban people from selling hemp with a higher THC level in it, because I don't know what they do to extract it. We'll talk to Brian about that. But it was being sold over the counter at convenience stores, and kids were buying it. And if you smoke enough of it, it's an intoxicant. And it was evading the law dealing with marijuana. Now, obviously, the marijuana dealers don't want you to do that because they want you to buy it from one of their overpriced dispensaries, clearly.
Right.
But there was also the health risk because it was sort of unregulated. So then they tried to regulate it. And when they did that, they ended up impacting some products that are targeted to and sold to adults, like these THC-infused drinks that you can now buy at many establishments and at a lot of liquor stores. You can buy these drinks. And Brian's company is one of the ones, I think he's out of, what did I say, Union? He's one of the ones who makes those, and he's trying to influence the minds of the legislators down there to tweak this law so it doesn't put everyone out of business if they're making a product that only adults are going to have access to. So we'll talk to him about that coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. Jimmy Failla a little later. I hate to name drop here. I was texting with Jimmy Failla last night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You guys are buddies?
I'm kind of a big deal.
I was worried
he was at the factory Saturday, and we became buds.
I was worried he wouldn't be able to make the hit because he had said he'd been asked to be on America's Newsroom today, and he was trying to figure out the time. So glad it worked out.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're glad we're getting him in here. Taylor Riggs a little later, too. We'll talk to her about the Kevin Hassett's comments on the economy. Right now, let's go ahead and get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
You know, I got married in Scandass after my first year in law school, with a huge reception thrown by the Hunter family. And countless Bidens made the trip up from Delaware and Scranton to celebrate us on that day, just like they have today.
What the hell is Joe talking about? Why do they keep letting him speak in public? I mean, at some point, the elder abuse, some charges need to be filed here somewhere.
As we initiate this process, the budget resolution followed up with a reconciliation bill, and what it will include are all elements that I think that, as we have talked with the Speaker and folks in the House of Representatives, they understand where we're.
What does that mean, John Thune? It just passed the Save America Act. Quit giving us word salad on reconciliation and pass the Save America Act.
The moment has finally come for national health insurance. Why? Because people now realize you cannot have health care linked to your job, not at a time where your job may change.
The progressive wing of the Democratic Party, that is Ro Khanna. Here we go again. They want national socialized health care in America. Getting it on the Obamacare exchange apparently doesn't work for Democrats because Obamacare only works if you don't. That would be me, wouldn't it? Hang on, here we go.
Jesus himself did not run around saying, I'm the Messiah, I'm the Messiah.
Did you know that, Kim? You have to be told by Joy Behar of The View, in case you weren't watching yesterday, that Jesus was a narcissist, if he ever said it, but he didn't run around all the time saying, I am the Messiah, I am the Messiah. And two of her own members of The View corrected her repeatedly. Yes, he did.
Quite often he did.
And, oh, by the way, if you are the Messiah, it's not narcissistic to say, I'm the Messiah. That's not the definition of narcissism.
Yeah, it's pretty much all over the Bible. That's why he then follows it up with saying, follow me.
You lose IQ points anytime you watch that show. I swear. I don't know how people sit down and watch it. I listen to brief clips from it, and I feel dumber for what I just heard. It's that pathetic. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll get to our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. We've got a couple of things to mention already on the roads. One is a stall, MoDOT reporting, eastbound 255 at the JB Bridge. Watch out, the right lane is blocked there. And eastbound 70, of course, we've got ongoing road work. And it's really slow this morning through one of those areas. And it's mainly east of Forestell, kind of between Forestell and Wentzville, just east of David Hochul Parkway. So there is a slowdown in there due to road work. And other than those two issues, we are fine at this hour. Quiet through North County and looking good on northbound 55. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Ethan,
this report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call my friends at Zero Res. Marc Cox here. It's the perfect time to clean your air ducts as you deal with allergy season. You know, your furnace, your AC efficiency, all of that matters. Your air ducts are like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air is going to suffer. Right now, you get a whole system air duct cleaning for just $5.99. Pay less for fresh. Call 314-474-2020 or go online at ZeroResSTL.com. Well, I've got a little bit of bad news for you this morning. I'm looking at the radar on my phone right now on the Weather Channel app, and it's showing a string of storms headed this way. That some of you are already getting rain to the north. It may be raining right now at your house, certainly in the northern part of our viewing area. If there's water in your basement, if water gets in your basement after a big rainstorm, now's the day to take action. Quit putting this off. You know, I talked to Matt Hayes about this over at Home Shield Foundation Repairs. He says, I talk to people. I'm like, what finally urged you to dial the number? They're like, well, we started to dial several times, but we stopped because we're just so afraid of how much it's going to cost. And he's like, listen, the fear is real. It can be expensive to get that done, but it's not always expensive. Sometimes it's a much easier fix than you think, but you won't know until you get your free estimate. It's not going to cost you anything to have Matt come out or one of his members of his team come out and take a look at what's going on in your basement, and then they will assign a repair that fixes the problem and not charge you for something that you don't need. That's where you put your trust. 314-271-9900 for all your waterproofing, sump pump issues going on in your basement. Matt will get you taken care of, and then they'll give you a lifetime warranty on the work they do when they waterproof your house. Go online to HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
McKelvey Homes Spring Event is one of the best offers they had in years. Rates as low as 4.75% and savings up to $124,000 on move-in ready homes. Now, the event ends May 31st. Schedule your tour today at McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, lots of comments this morning already on the text line, 314-241-9797. Apparently, I'm told here's another thing I know nothing about, and that's gas prices. Well, I pay them. Do you? I know something about them. I know that you're probably being jabbed a little bit right now by the cost you're paying at the pump. But I'm told that gas stations only set their prices by what the refineries sell the gas for. Gas profits are about 1%. Stores make all their money from snacks and beer. I don't doubt that the profit is higher on snacks and beer. I've heard that complaint again. I do not believe it's 1% on gas profits. I don't believe that. I've heard from other people that it's higher than that. And I think right now they're making a lot of money on you because they jacked the prices up much higher than the price of oil jumped up.
I thought someone told us the profit was usually hovered around, what was it, 4 or 5%?
Something like that. Yeah. And it's a for-profit business. Don't get me wrong. I'm a capitalist. I have no problem with people making money. That's how our country operates. But what irritates me is how quickly when they go back to paying what they used to pay for that a gallon of gas that they're then turning around and selling you, they're still going to be charging you 10 times more than they should because it drops so slowly as they decide to take some profit off of you before finally letting gas prices settle back to where they should be compared to the price per gallon. That's my point here.
Well, and here's
for whoever is lecturing me on the text line this morning.
What's also different about gas versus basically anything else. I have to get gas. Unless I'd like to go get an EV, I have no other choice but to go get gasoline in my car on a pretty regular basis
right.
Since we drive downtown and then back to St. Charles County 5 times a week. And that gets very expensive. If the price of avocados goes up astronomically, I can opt to not buy avocados. Just about any other commodity, I can choose to not buy that if I feel like the price has been jacked up too high. I can choose not to buy certain, clothing or event tickets, whatever the case may be. Gasoline is one of the only things I can think about that if you have a car that's not an EV, you have no other choice, but you have to buy it.
Yeah, I agree. Now I'm getting lectured by Carol here on Facebook this morning that it's Trump's economy. Blah, 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 blah. You, sir, are the member of a party that told us back in 2007 you would intentionally raise gas prices to the point that people would no longer drive internal combustion engines. I'll just leave that out there for you. Your party wanted to raise gas prices so high, like they have in Europe, that it would drive people away from big cars and into battery-powered cars. That's your party did that, Carol, just so you know, not Donald Trump. Gas prices were falling. And then he, being the adult in the room, decided to take care of a problem no other president had the intestinal fortitude to face for 47 years. And I'm just worn out by this crap from the Vatican. I just have to tell you, J.D. Vance and Tom Homan, both practicing Catholics, kind of mansplained this to the Pope yesterday. I'm going to play that for you coming up because both of them are spot on in what they said to him. He needs to stick to theology and stop trying to impose his socialist point of view on the United States of America. End of discussion. That I loved what they said yesterday. I'm going to play some of that for you just a little bit later because that's where we are. The audacity of Pope Leo is on full display. That's what I would say about that. All right, coming up, we will get to Kim on a whim. Kim, what are we talking about?
Well, it is tax day. You have until midnight tonight, but apparently some people have said, nah, I don't think I'm going to file because I'm protesting Donald Trump.
Oh, nice.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. It still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
All right, you go to grasserelectric.com, and they're going to find out a whole lot more about what's going on with my friends over there at Grasser because they are doing more home services, more than just electric these days, and their website makes it really easy for you. Just couldn't get any better. If you're in the sound of my voice, pretty much, they're going to be able to serve you. Right online, you can book your service, whatever it happens to be. Having a dripping faucet, you've got a toilet that runs all the time, you don't know how to fix that. Whatever it happens to be, or a major clog, they do emergency service as well. Their phone number's right on the website, and you can book your service online. They make it as easy as humanly possible to get this done. Plus, they've been around 50 years, and you can trust their word. When the Grassers, Shane and Josh, tell you they're going to do something, they do it right. Go to grasserelectric.com.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
It is tax day, the day to file your return and pay your taxes, even if you receive an extension. And it's another busy day for earnings. Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, PNC Financial Services, Progressive Insurance, and J.B. Hunt Transport Services are among those reporting. CPA and market watcher Dan Geltrude is watching high-priced oil stocks.
Some reallocation, perhaps, from energy, some some, limited, I would say, and going into tech isn't a bad move because tech right now is a little bit down, so it's probably a good time to buy.
The National Association of Home Builders releases its housing market index for April today, and the Federal Reserve releases its beige book of economic conditions around the U.S. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions require.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We look good on the roads right now. They have picked up that road work on eastbound 70. And that was kind of as you headed toward Wentzville. It's fine through there now. And no reports of the stall anymore eastbound 255 at the JB Bridge. So we are quiet. And that's from North County down into Jeffco. And we also look good on the Illinois side in general and on the bridges downtown. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Oh, it's raining, right? Maybe raining part of the day here, and you're going to be tracking stuff in and out of your house. That's the great thing about my flooring. I don't have to worry about that. I have tile in my kitchen, which is easy to clean up. We have engineered hardwood through the rest of the house, and if you want something that is heavy duty and can handle the traffic, they've got what you need at Michael's Flooring Outlet. That's where we've gotten all the flooring that we've purchased for our homes over the last few years. 4 different times when it was time to get flooring, we had to shop for it, and we went with Michael's Flooring Outlet each and every time. And this is dating back to before they were advertisers on this radio show. I'll just tell you that because of the selection, because of the service after the sale, where they want to make sure that you're satisfied with your installation and all that stuff. It's right on their website. They spell it out for you. They couldn't make it any easier than it is because Mike Reynolds knows flooring and he knows how to take care of customers, and I think he gets a lot of repeat business as a result of that. You can visit him 2 spots in St. Charles County, Old Town St. Peters and Darting Prairie, or in West St. Louis County there on Olive west of 270. When you go in the door, tell them Marc Cox sent you. Go online anytime. It's igotfloor.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Missouri Brush Control is helping landowners reclaim their property with selective land clearing. Whether it's for a building site, pasture reclamation, hunting, or trail creation, Missouri Brush Control can transform your unusable acreage into accessible and productive property. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. 5-star rated on Google reviews. See impressive before and after projects today at MissouriBrushControl.com. Missouri Brush Control, making acreage great again. Tell them Bo Matthews sent you to MissouriBrushControl.com.
Born in the Midwest, built on common sense. FM Talk. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative. Kim on a Whim.
Kim on a Whim is proudly brought to you by Missouri Brush Control. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. Learn more at MissouriBrushControl.com.
Some Americans are protesting the war in Iran and President Trump's domestic policies by putting their money where their mouth is as part of a call to sit out of paying federal taxes this year.
I'm Rachel and I'm not paying my federal income tax this year.
It's time that we stop paying our taxes.
Tax strike 2026.
This is stupidity at its finest.
I don't know. I can get behind this.
Oh, come on, man.
I would like to not pay my taxes, but for these clowns who think that this is completely fine and they won't be caught, have you dealt with the IRS? They find the tiniest little thing.
The Democrats are the party of Lois Lerner. That's their party. That's what they. I don't think that woman ever got in any trouble for what she did. Did she? Can anybody? I could Google it. I'm just talking off the top of my head here. She targeted conservative groups for audits and to strip them of their tax-free status and all that stuff, and nothing ever happened to her. And here now Democrats have decided they suddenly just are going to stop paying their taxes. But if they get audited, it's going to be Donald Trump's fault. Let me guess.
Well, so this has been going on. This resistance has been going on since the colonial era, basically. And it will ramp up. It will spike up. Like I was looking at during the Vietnam War, that people were refusing in higher numbers to not pay their taxes. Obviously, now you have it ramping up. Listen to some girl talking about why she's decided to not pay taxes.
I'm still paying state taxes, and I believe state taxes are something that we should continue paying.
Are you worried at all about going to jail potentially?
I was at a point, the IRS does not have the manpower to go out and, audit every single person and look at who's not paying federal taxes.
I have a feeling that won't age well. But anyway, in the story, they interviewed the guy who leads the National War Tax Resistance Coordinating Committee. Had no clue this was a thing, but if you go to their website, which apparently a lot of people are doing, by the way, because he said that typically they might have about 40,000 users visit their site. I want to say that was in maybe I don't know if that was in a month. I can't remember. Basically said this past January, they had the most visits ever. 110,000. And if you go to the website, there's something that says methods of resistance. Summarized below are a few war tax resistant methods. Some are more convenient to other people. And by the way, their whole thing is that they've got money for war, but they can't feed the poor. So anyway, it says that you can file and then refuse to pay your taxes. You can just refuse altogether to file a tax return. You can earn less than the taxable income. This could involve having such a low income you're not required to file federal income taxes. Approximately $12,550 for a single person in 2021. Yeah, people would be down with that, earning less than $12,000.
Right.
Let's see here. Or resist the local telephone excise. What even is that? Excise? Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Excise tax?
What is that? I don't even know what that is. Anyway, these ideas are stupid. And I can't believe that they think that they are going to get away with this. And it sounds like a lot of people are seriously saying they're not paying their taxes this year out of protest for Trump and protest over the Iran war.
The party that kneels at the altar of big government and needs to constantly feed it with more of your tax dollars. The rich don't pay their fair share is now telling us they're going to make government suffer by not paying their taxes.
Yep.
What about all the poor people that need the money that they're earning to make their lives better? Don't they understand the real impact that they're having here?
That's what's interesting about what that girl said, where she's making the
just gonna
claim
give it
that
to him directly?
she's like, I'm going to pay city taxes because I think, and state taxes, she says I can get on board with that. It's the federal taxes because she doesn't like war in this case. They talk about how much money goes to support, our military. Well, it's kind of like the immigration argument. Why don't we just get rid of our military and we'll just see how things go? I think that we would all feel really safe.
Yeah.
It's so, the argument is so stupid. And I mean, the IRS, there's jokes about how the IRS will come after you over the dumbest things. If you have thousands of people not paying their federal taxes, I'd like to think the IRS will realize that, and they'll go after you. And there's a few things that they could do. They could revoke your passport. They could just charge you a fee, and I don't know what that fee would be. Or they could potentially throw you in jail. I doubt that would happen very often. But if you owed enough and you're refusing to pay it, well, I'm sure that they would do that. We all know that when you owe taxes, you got to make sure you're getting it there on time. But if you have money coming back to you, the government likes to take its sweet time.
Yeah. I found the answer to my question. Took me a second. Neither Lois Lerner nor any other IRS official faced any criminal charges in the political controversy over the processing of applications for tax-exempt status for conservative groups. This was back in 2015, so before Donald Trump took office for the first time. The decision closed a 2-year investigation into accusations that stoked outrage among Republicans in Congress who alleged bias in the tax agency's treatment of conservative and Tea Party groups, which they did, very clearly did. And then a bunch, like Hillary Clinton, a bunch of her emails disappeared showing her intent. And she was allowed to retire with her full government pension. Unbelievable. She's 75 years old now, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Wow. I mean,
which is a little bit off subject here, but this is, I would still go back to the fact that this is the party that loves to tell other people how to pay their taxes and how much they owe and that they're not paying enough. And suddenly they've decided that to punish their own government, they're just going to be scofflaws, right? They're just not going to participate. Do they not listen to the ads that drive a nail in my brain on this station or on other stations where people say, I owed the federal government $70,000, but thanks to so-and-so, I only owe $3,000 now. So what that means is they've basically gone and negotiated with you. It's like doing a short sale on a home. That's not without consequences. They're going to owe the money eventually with interest.
These are the same people who think it's ridiculous that those of us who are pro-life don't want to be funding Planned Parenthood. We don't want to be paying for abortions and other disgusting things they do at Planned Parenthood. They think that we should be forced to have to do that. And instead of us just saying, that's it, we're not paying our taxes, we realize that's not the way to go about it, and we're going about it legislatively, the way that you have to do it. That's what's so ridiculous about this whole thing. These are the people who say, I'm going to do this, but this doesn't apply to you. Going back to that website I mentioned, the National War Tax Resistance Coordinating Committee. Why do they have to name it something so long?
Is there an acronym for it? Does it spell out anything?
Nope.
I was trying to do the
It'd be
letters
NWTRCC.
Yeah.
No.
It's like MMLGBTQ plus
blah, 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 blah. Says something else you can do out of legal protest if you are, quote, angry about endless war and military spending but are not ready to resist. Don't be silent. One of the other ways you can protest, they say, is to pay the tax with hundreds of small denomination checks or coins. Well, that's just going to piss off the person who has to count it. That's not really going to stick it to the federal government. Do they realize that too?
Yeah. Somebody did that. I remember those stories used to make headlines all the time, and somebody come in with a wheelbarrow full of pennies to try to pay for this or that, and eventually a lot of municipalities changed the way they accept payments so that you couldn't do that to them anymore.
Well, and I don't blame them. Who has the time? No one has the resources to count your pennies just because you're pissed off. Look, I'm pissed off too about some of the taxes I have to pay, but guess what? That's life. Go figure out a way to do it. Go talk to your lawmakers. They're the ones who have the power to do this with a big, beautiful bill and other things. That's the way we need to go about this, not being an idiot and just straight up refusing to pay. So there are... For everyone else who realizes that you have to pay your taxes, in case you didn't know, today is tax day and you have until midnight to file.
Yeah. I'm laughing because Scooter on Facebook there is accusing me of going after one of our sponsors. Well, first of all, Drury Law, whatever it is, doesn't sponsor this show, and I'm not going after anybody. I'm pointing out that there are services out there who try to help people who go years without paying their taxes. there's a probably a large fee associated with that, I would imagine.
Well, it's called tax fraud.
Plus, you're committing tax fraud by not paying your taxes. That has nothing to do with the job this guy does helping people who haven't paid their taxes all those years. You're hiring an attorney because you are facing serious legal consequences from the federal government if you just decide not to pay your taxes. Or if you're cheating, if they catch you cheating on your taxes, they're going to get you eventually. Don't think they won't come after you.
Oh, they will find you. It's like the dang, what's his face, Liam Neeson. I will find you, I will hunt you down, and I will take all of your money.
It's true. It's very true. All right, coming up, we got people on here going, ooh, that sounds awful. Epstein is what the comments are on here. That's all we hear. Best response ever from Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general, on that yesterday. I'm going to play it for you when we come back.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Quiet on the roads this morning. We look good out there. Eastbound 70 looked great. Wright City into downtown, 6440 is in good shape. We look good on northbound 55. Really off to a good start here today. Now, road work, of course, is scheduled tonight on 44 in St. Louis County. They're going to close 2 eastbound lanes between 109 and 141. That's a pretty long stretch. That will be 7 o'clock tonight until 5 a.m. tomorrow. This, of course, just some ongoing road work in the area. This report is brought to you by i3 Broadband. Spring is here. Time to throw out the old treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, they're springing forward with their longest price guarantees ever on their gig speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
You'll be thankful for those windows today when the rain is beating against them here at some point. But if you've decided this is the summer when you will get some new windows and nice weather is really a great time to do that, you want to call Window World as part of your search. Listen, John and the fine folks at Window World know that you're going to shop around. They understand that. It's a competitive business. That's why they advertise. But I'm also telling you this. They're going to give you a free estimate. They're not going to pressure you. I mean, I've heard horror stories of people sitting in their, in their homes and they can't get rid of the salesperson who's insisting they buy something and hammering them on price and this and everything. They don't do that at Window World. They start with really low prices to begin with, and you're getting a high-quality window. It's why Window World, over 20 years in business, they've helped over 80,000 homeowners in the greater St. Louis area. There's a reason for that. A lot of that was word of mouth and referrals. So if it's time to get new windows, go to the company that I trust, and that's Window World. They put in windows for me, and they're going to do a great job for you as well. Go to 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. That's an easy phone number to remember to call them up at it, 1-800-GET-WINDOWS, or just check them out at their website. Remember, the preferred window of our St. Louis Blues, it is windowworldstlouis.com.
What's happening now?
We must have the enriched material out of Iran.
Quote, a lot is happening today and tomorrow. We have all the ingredients for a deal, but it's not all there yet.
97.1 FM Talk.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
The Cards, the Guardians.
Siteman Cancer Center game time 12:15. Play ball! Siteman Cancer Center, national leader in cancer.
The home of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Every child deserves a childhood. Make-A-Wish creates life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. A wish sparks a ripple of hope that transforms communities far and wide. When we grant wishes together, we create a movement of kindness, strength, and unity. Join us today at wish.org and be part of a journey that truly changes lives.
Unexpected pregnancies can feel overwhelming, but you're not alone. At Vitality Women's Clinic in Godfrey, caring professionals provide free and confidential services for women and families. From pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, and options education to STD testing and ongoing support, Vitality is here to walk alongside you every step of the way. If you or someone you know needs help, hope, or simply someone to talk to, we're here. Visit vitalitywomensclinic.com to learn more or schedule a confidential appointment. Vitality Women's Clinic, supporting women, strengthening families, and bringing hope to our community.
Marc Cox is St. Louis conservative.
And of course, that's terrible, unspeakable. Most of us could not even put ourselves in her shoes, while at the same time, she's trying to make sure that Charlie's legacy doesn't die. And in that context, everybody is attacking her over everything. And
this is J.D. Vance. He was at a Turning Point event yesterday, and they asked him about Candace Owens and the other assorted conspiracy theorists out there who go on every day and hammer on this issue regarding, whether Charlie Kirk was killed by the Jews or they were tracking him by airplanes or the bullet came from outer space. I don't know what they've come up with lately. And clearly the vice president has had enough. And I thought you'd want to hear this.
They're lying about her, and it's one of the most disgraceful things that I've ever seen in public life. And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my life as a political leader, and I will tell you that the people who tell you, I was there with her, I was holding her hand, my wife was hugging her while we loaded Charlie's body onto Air Force Two and said the Lord's Prayer, the people telling you that Erica wasn't grieving her husband are full of shit. And we need to be honest about that fact.
Well, what's sad is that Erica was supposed to be there, and she had so many what they say were credible threats that she ended up having to cancel.
Wow.
Can you imagine if she were somehow killed as well and now those kids don't have a mother or a father?
Okay, something about that, though. If the vice president's there, don't you think it's going to be secure enough?
No, what are you talking about?
Wasn't she supposed to be at the same thing the vice president was at?
I think.
Yeah, she was.
But that's what I'm saying. She canceled because there was threats against her.
Yesterday.
What? Yeah, so Erica
yesterday.
would have been, so Andrew Culver, I always forget his name, but the guy who now hosts the Charlie Kirk show, or still is hosting, he was sitting in Erica's place. So yeah, Erica would have been on stage with J.D. Vance. I mean, that's an interesting point, that it would have been incredibly secure, but maybe there was so much concern about her even leaving the house.
Yeah.
That even just getting to the venue, I don't know how far away it was, but even that wasn't safe.
All right. Well, I teased this, so I also want to get to this. I wanted to play that for you. But Todd Blanche yesterday is on with Bill Hemmer and Dana Perino on Fox, and he said to the acting attorney general, "Why don't you release all of the Epstein files?" And this was Todd Blanche's response. For all of my liberal loonies on the Facebook page this morning, just so you know, every single left-wing progressive loony member of Congress, or for that matter, any Republican in Congress, can go look at all of the files unredacted. All of them. Listen.
No, we have released everything. So listen, we reviewed 6 million pieces of paper. What we released was anything associated with the Epstein files. So there, we are not sitting on a single piece of paper. Nothing that should be released. If we find something else tomorrow, we'll release it. I don't anticipate we will. So the misguided assumption that there is more to be released is because we reviewed millions and millions of pages within the department, millions of which had nothing to do with Epstein. So it's not as if we looked at a document and said, we're not going to release that. If we didn't release it, it's because it was not responsive to the law and therefore not part of the Epstein files. What we've done with Congress is we by law, we had to make certain redactions, by law, including of victims and of PI information. But we said to Congress, any congressman can come in and spend as much time as they want looking at everything unredacted. And if you think we should be doing something, Congressman or Congresswoman, let us know and we will do it. And so we have that. I don't know how this department or this president can be more transparent than saying, American people, here's every single document in our entire database. And if we had to redact it because of victim names, anybody can come look at it if you're a member of Congress. No restrictions, unredacted.
I want to squeeze in one.
No restrictions. Anybody can go look at it. Release the files, release the unredacted files where for legal reasons they've had to redact certain names. You can go look at all of them. I still don't understand what they think is to be gained by unredacting all of those names where there's clearly no evidence of criminal wrongdoing, or there would have been charges filed, you hope. That's my point. All right. We're going to get to Nicole Murray in the next hour. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
U.S.-Iran talks may resume as soon as tomorrow. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and President Trump says the conflict is close to being over, telling Fox Business's Maria Bartiromo in an interview airing this morning he had to take action.
Right now, you would have Iran with a nuclear weapon, and if they had a nuclear weapon, you would be calling everybody over there, sir, and you don't want to do that.
The president's comments come as U.S. Central Command continues to block Iranian ports with more than a dozen support vessels. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper explained the impact of this move, saying, quote, a blockade of Iranian ports has been fully implemented as U.S. forces maintain maritime superiority in the Middle East.
Fox's Trey Inks in Tel Aviv. 6 ships have been turned away by that U.S. military blockade. Oil prices are up 1% this morning, but they've come down from way over $100 a barrel to 92 for WTI now. And the president also tells Maria,
if you told me that we were going to be at only $92 a barrel, $92 a barrel, I would have been very surprised.
There are 2 new vacancies in the House. Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez's resignation was effective at midnight. He left over an affair with a staffer who killed herself last year. Congressman Eric Swalwell, a Democrat, also resigned over multiple sexual misconduct and assault allegations he denies as false and political hit jobs.
Former model Lana Drews alleging that Swalwell drugged and sexually assaulted her in a West Hollywood hotel in 2018.
He raped me and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died.
Drews becomes Swalwell's 5th accuser.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. There's tornado and storm damage in the Midwest, Kansas up to Wisconsin.
Honestly, I was super scared, but I had kids, so I'm very glad we all made it out okay.
There's also widespread damage in U.S. territory after a typhoon hammered the northern Mariana Islands, the most powerful storm on Earth this year, 140-mile-an-hour winds. America's listening to Fox News.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in the live market. No house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Good morning on this election day. I'm Kim saying election day? We are not at election day. It's tax day. It's tax day. Not as fun. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. 73 degrees now at 6:03. A wild update to the city council race in St. Charles that ended with a 1-vote difference. Turns out it was actually a tie. Exactly 572 votes apiece. It all came down to a provisional ballot that election officials verified on Monday. Under the city's charter, candidates Chris Kyle and Bill Otto may now draw lots to determine which of them will serve on the council. That could mean flipping a coin, drawing straws, or even pulling numbers out of a hat. The Ferguson police officer who suffered a serious brain injury after being knocked down during a protest in 2024 is back home. Officer Travis Brown has been doing rehab in Georgia, and now he'll continue doing that here in St. Louis. To celebrate Officer Brown's homecoming, Ferguson Police will be at Heaven's Creamery today at 3 o'clock, apparently his favorite spot. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page has filed a lawsuit against the county council and its chair, Rita Herdays, over how much power he has while traveling internationally. Page is preparing to leave for London later on this weekend amid ongoing budget disagreements. According to a county ordinance, if the county executive is out of the country, the chair of the council acts as the county executive. Page is requesting a temporary restraining order to prevent the transfer of power during his trip. In sports, the Cardinals rallied for a 6-5 win over the Guardians after 10 innings yesterday. Wrapping up that series today, 12:15 first pitch, and another win for the Blues, beating the Penguins 7-5. And finally, St. Louis City faces FC Tulsa in the round of 32 tonight. 7 o'clock start of the game. This, by the way, part of the U.S. Open Cup. 73 degrees now coming up on 6:05. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We still look good on the roads this morning. If you're just headed out, now's the time. It is quiet on westbound 270 through North County. Northbound 270 is still in good shape. We look good on the Illinois side in general and on the bridges downtown. There is some road work scheduled tonight on 70 in St. Charles County. And 8 o'clock tonight until 6 a.m. tomorrow, they'll have a eastbound and westbound lane closed from Forestville to Wentzville. And 9 p.m. until 5:30 tomorrow morning, an east and westbound lane closed on 70 between Wentzville Parkway and Route A. It's that ongoing road work. This report is brought to you by Barron Mirror Glass and Door. Simply the finest when it comes to mirror glass and shower doors. You can't find better quality, prices, or service. They have the basics all the way up to the elite. Barron Mirror Glass and Door can't be beat. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
We stay in the spring, early summer weather pattern. A little unsettled looking sky on this Wednesday. A mix of clouds and sunshine, windy and warm. And let's keep an eye out for some scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms, but no all-day rain. 82 for the high. This is not a widespread thunderstorm event for us. On to tonight. Scattered showers, couple of thunderstorms, 64. Thursday, partly sunny. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
71 degrees now downtown at the Arch, just before 6:07. Hey, you can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you wherever you go. Very simple. All you have to do is download our free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, welcome in. I don't think the words happy and tax day go together, but did you call it election day earlier?
I don't know
Kim?
why.
I saw that's comment on the Facebook page there. Somebody said that they've long wanted election day to be tax day.
I said, I did catch it, but I'm thinking, why? I guess I was used to saying happy election day the other week, but I don't know that happy and tax day can go hand in hand. And maybe if you're getting a bunch of money back, but that also means you overpaid. Not that most people care about that. They're just excited to receive their check. Now, how many people do something productive with that?
With the check?
Yeah, like you put it in savings or you pay off
bills,
debt, you
hopefully.
pay bills, or how many
Right.
people just do none of that and blow it on something stupid?
Maybe a tank of gas.
That should take care of you about $2,000 for
Ethan's
especially for
over
your
there thinking,
trucks.
yeah, no kidding.
pretty much what we do.
$104. $104 for me to fill up yesterday when I topped off the tank. So, which means there was a little bit in there because it only put about 22 gallons in my truck. So I must have had about 3 or 4 gallons in there already.
You're not going to Costco or Sam's, are you?
No, that was it. I mean, it was one of those things that where you suddenly realize you need gas. You go to the nearest gas station, and it happened to be the QT by my house, which still galls me at the price I had to pay. But, you know.
Sometimes now I'll go. Costco's usually like 10 cents less than the
cheaper.
average
Right.
gas station. So I'll put in enough just to get me wherever I need to go, and then I'll go fill up at Costco because it's been so expensive.
Yeah, well, according to some of the people on the text line, I don't know what I'm talking about.
People have a lot of feelings about gas.
Know nothing guy. I worked at a gas station for 20 years. Sometimes we lost 4 to 5 cents per gallon because of competition from nearby. Well, that's the market working, dude. I'm sorry. What they're not doing right now is losing any money on gas. Is my point. Maybe in a regular everyday economy, you get undercut on occasion, but I'm just telling you.
Well, maybe they're making all their money from car washes because those are popping up everywhere now.
Well, no business could operate
stations.
if their profit margin was 1%. I don't buy that. These gas stations are like movie theaters. You know, you pay your ticket is the prices have gone up on tickets, but your profit margin is in the $12 soda you're forced to buy or the $20 tub of popcorn that you think this is great because I can refill it and then you never refill it.
Well, if someone's saying that the gas stations make their money on the snacks and beer, okay, well, how many people go in and actually buy those? Because I could believe that the profit margin on gas is probably way smaller than what you would pay if you go in and buy food.
Probably.
But I very rarely go in and buy food. I mean, how often are
QT
people
is
doing that?
Booming with that little kitchen they got going. I'll just have to say that.
Oh, they're smart to do that.
They're making some pretty good food, sandwiches and stuff like that that's easy to grab and go. And some of it by order. So I think it's a smart business model, but don't tell me that they're only making 1 cent, 1% on a gallon of gas. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. A little update, Kim. Near the end of the show yesterday, I was complaining because I looked at my Ring camera and realized that a police officer had come to my door trying to get the attention of someone in the house. And I'm like, what is going on? And right near the end of the show yesterday, we realized what it was. Mm-hmm. I for those of you just tuning in, I'll catch you up here. There's some very petty people apparently in my new neighborhood, and we have our camper. We moved the camper to our driveway on Sunday because we're leaving. We're going to go out of town, and it displaced one of our cars. It's now parked on the street until I get the camper out of there on Thursday, and somebody called the police because the car was parked in one spot for, they believed, apparently more than the law allows, which we discovered is 48 hours. The car hadn't been there for 48 hours, but somebody called the police and claimed that it had been. It's clearly somebody, there's a couple people, we think we know who it is, but there's some people in the neighborhood who are butthurt liberals and snowflakes, who one time apparently complained to the HOA that they wanted me to back my truck in because I had a Trump sticker on the back of it, and they were offended by it every time they drove by.
Grow a spine.
Thank you. So we know who those people are. We're guessing those may be the same petty, small-minded Karens who called on us this time, but we don't know for sure. We don't know that for sure. So I moved the car. All you have to do, I called the police. And my buddy in the police department says, yeah, the intent of the law is that you don't have derelict vehicles sitting on the street for weeks at a time. The fact that you have to park it there because you have a camper in your driveway is not something we're going to enforce. That's stupid. And I'm like, well, thank you. Please tell this idiot that the next time they call in. Please let them know that. So, we backed it up to the other side of the driveway to prove that it had been moved. And I put my Trump flag on the window, flapping in the wind so they can see it every time they drive by. Just a little poking the bear there a little bit.
You should have moved that car over in front of the other person's house that complained on you.
I wish I
just park there.
I still don't know.
Like, it's moving.
I still don't know who it is for sure, but we're narrowing it down. Let's put it that way.
You know how people during the holidays
are on it.
They project things onto their driveway or their
Yes,
garage,
on their
rather.
house.
You
Yeah,
should
yeah.
just project Trump.
I know that exists. I've seen those. I just don't own one. That's great. Yeah, it is very clearly there's somebody who's a little butthurt over the politics. So we live near a snowflake, and we're going to do our best to melt that snowflake. You've poked the wrong bear, I would argue there. Coming up, we're going to get to Nicole Murray, get you a check of business here at the bottom of the hour. Next hour, we're going to talk more about the law that was changed last year meant to regulate hemp production in the state of Missouri, because hemp is related to cannabis, and apparently you can extract a certain amount of THC, the same intoxicant in cannabis, out of hemp. And the concern was kids were getting their hands on this stuff and smoking it, and it was unregulated, so they just banned all of it. Well, what they ended up banning were some businesses that the business owners are pushing back now, saying our product is only sold to adults. Why are you doing this? It's clearly the regulated marijuana industry does not want the competition, would be part of the deal. But we're going to talk to Brian Riegel. He is one of those business owners who's trying to convince the legislature to tweak that law a little bit. So we'll talk to him at about 7:20 this morning. Get to Taylor Riggs and Jimmy Failla a little later as well. Right now, though, we have a lot to get to. Let's get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Governor Pritzker signed a new law that decriminalizes spreading HIV.
Yes, indeed. Governor Pritzker is making Illinois worse again. 1986, they passed a law that says If you know that you have AIDS and you have sex with somebody else and don't tell them, that is a prosecutable crime. Completely logical. But somebody's offended by it. So now J.B. Pritzker, all these years later, signed a bill overturning that law. So now you can spread your AIDS to whoever you want in the state of Illinois with absolutely zero consequences.
Well, it certainly exposes, how awful their leadership is. Supposedly all this stuff is, whenever this finally gets revealed, so, well, everybody knew that. Obviously I didn't, but I would think Democrat leadership would have known that.
Yeah, you would think so. Senator Ron Johnson there, you would think they would have. A lot of people claim to have known stuff about Swalwell for years, oddly. Isn't that odd? But they never said anything. But now they're all saying something.
My delay in taking action against Eric was driven by fear, not doubt. Fear of his political power.
Yeah, that was one of his accusers, one of Swalwell's accusers there. More and more of them are coming out. And somebody said earlier, do you think this guy's facing jail time? It's very possible with this level of accusers.
I had to divert because if I didn't do that, right now you would have Iran with a nuclear weapon. And if they had a nuclear weapon, you would be calling everybody over there, sir. And you don't want to do that.
Well, you keep saying was. Is this war over?
I think it's close to over, yeah. I view it as very close to over.
Yeah, how about that? There you have it. That was President Trump yesterday, and the markets responded pretty quickly to that comment as well. The Dow futures are up and oil prices are down. Not enough, mind you, but they're definitely down. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back. Plus, J.D. Vance and Tom Homan chimed in with their thoughts on the Pope, Pope Leo. Now, they're both practicing Catholics, and I want you to hear what they have to say when we come back.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, good morning to you. We are off to a really good traffic start. Now, there's a little bit of volume on northbound 55 around Bayless as you head into the work zone there. And south of there, same thing, just a little bit at 141 at that construction zone. But other than that, we look good. 70, 64, 40, 44 all look good from out west into downtown. We are quiet on the Illinois side in general. And if you are headed in on the bridges downtown, it looks good as well. This report brought to you by McKelvey Homes. The McKelvey Homes Spring Event is one of the best offers they've had in years. Rates as low as 4.75% and savings up to $124,000 on move-in ready homes. The event ends on May 31st, so schedule your tour today at McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey. I'm Sue Thomas with Traffic, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
If you're a homeowner, you know that at some point things will come up, whether it's repairs you have to make at your home or things just get dated and you're ready for a change. I know that's the case with our home. And when that happens, no matter really what it is, you need to call Lakeside Renovation and Design or go to lakesiderd.com because they basically do it all. Lakeside Renovation and Design could help you with some sort of a beautiful outdoor project, a screened-in porch, a new beautiful deck, a patio. They also can do kitchens, bathrooms. Maybe you want to finish your basement. But they also are the experts to go to if you have any sort of siding need or windows, front doors. In fact, there was someone who wrote a 5-star review just a day ago saying after a hailstorm damage, we upgraded to these Infinity from Marvin windows, an entry door, and James Hardy siding and gutters. The Lakeside crew was professional and worked with us on minor changes and made sure we were completely satisfied. And they also noted that Lakeside had a reasonable price. And that's what I love about my friends at Lakeside Renovation and Design is they know that you want a quality material that's going to last, but they understand that you're on a budget and they're going to work with you to make sure you get what you want. Plus, Lakeside has a whole team of in-house designers and they're going to help you with your vision because maybe you know you want something, but you don't know how to execute on that. Leave all the stressful details to the team at Lakeside Renovation and Design. Right now, they're offering 12 months, no interest, no payments through the end of April, meaning you're not going to make any payments until next spring. Plus, they're going to back up their work with a lifetime workmanship warranty. It's lakesiderd.com.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
License number GL250000615.
We've seen all kinds of clogs, so remember the rule. Only flush 3 things. Number 1, number 2, and toilet paper. What about my dinosaurs? No. My monster truck? Nope. What about... If it's not the big 3, don't flush it. But if someone does flush a dinosaur... Call Grasser. We clear the clog and get things moving again.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeServices.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Marc Cox is St. Louis conservative.
All right, Kim, what was the rib comment here that somebody is making? I've not mentioned my ribs in like weeks.
Nope, you've not, to your credit, but someone did text us in saying, I guess it was when you were talking about the whole fiasco with your neighbor, and they said, as long as you're not complaining about those crispy ribs, we're good.
We're good with
it. With a heart for you.
Oh, I have not mentioned this.
How are your ribs, Mark?
They're doing fine. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm hanging in there. Thank you. Somebody want to know if Carol lived in my neighborhood. I guess that's possible. I don't think so, but I guess it's possible. That's pretty funny. Anyway, back to the J.D. Vance and Tom Homan interviews yesterday regarding the Pope. So the Vatican puts out some wordy press release yesterday, if you saw this or not, and it didn't specifically mention Donald Trump, but it talked a lot about democracy and the highest goal you can have in life apparently is democracy. And he talked about justice and fortitude and decision making, and basically he hinted at the United States by saying the Pope stressed that democracy remains healthy only when rooted in the moral law and a true vision of the human person. When this isn't the case, he cautioned, it risks becoming either a majoritarian tyranny or a mask for the dominance of economic and technological elites. So in other words, if we don't like the fact that you're more powerful than us and have more technology than us, then you must be tyrannical. That's what I'm reading here from the Pope. It's clearly a dig at America. Once again, the land of milk and honey that he grew up in and then abandoned for South America somewhere. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm not Catholic. So I can look at what the Pope is saying here through an eye that's not biased by. I could care less about whether or not you're Catholic. I'm not Catholic, but what I see the Pope doing here is engaging in an encouragement of socialism. That's what he supports, in my opinion, and his predecessor did the same thing. Those are my opinions, but let's not get to that. Let's get to J.D. Vance, who is a practicing Catholic. And this is what he said yesterday about the Pope and the Pope firing on the president over things like immigration and the war in Iran.
When the Pope says that God is never on the side of those who wield the sword, there is more than 1,000-year tradition of just war theory. Okay? Now, we can, of course, have disagreements about whether this or that conflict is just, but I think that it's important, in the same way that it's important for the Vice President of the United States to be careful when I talk about matters of public policy, I think it's very, very important for the Pope to be careful when he talks about matters of theology.
Wow. In other words, mind your words, Mr. Pope. He's like, I support the Pope. I support his right to speak out on anything he wants to. But he's got one job.
If you're going to opine on matters of theology, you've got to be careful. You've got to make sure it's anchored in the truth. And that's one of the things that I try to do. And it's certainly something I would expect from the clergy, whether they're Catholic or Protestant. Now,
this whole thing is so interesting to me because I'm not Catholic either. I disagree with a lot of what Pope Leo has said and even the previous Pope. And I don't necessarily have a problem with religious leaders commenting on politics, but
we've said that about our own churches,
right?
Here, that
and then I
appreciate
that my pastors speak out. As far as the Pope goes, yeah, I don't know why he's getting so interwoven in this whole debate and why he threw out that. Was it the Pope who said something about Trump first, or Trump responded to the Pope? I can't remember who.
The Pope was critical of
Trump's
of what's
policies
going on in Iran.
Okay,
and you can't have it both ways, and I guess is one way to look at it. Everybody wants to claim the Pope is the leader of the church. We listen to him when he's speaking on theology and the Bible. I heard a Catholic told me this, but we don't have to listen to his other advice. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think you can't have it both ways. If you choose to step into the political arena, which I think the Pope did here, then you open yourself up to these kinds of criticisms. Not the first Pope to do it by any stretch of the imagination, but the Vatican has drifted hard to the left. I think a lot of people can agree, whether you're Catholic or not, pretty far to the left on a lot of major issues.
I mean, I've seen Catholics who are turning against the Iran war for sure.
Well, and you can debate whether you like war. It's hard to debate whether or not you like a bunch of maniacs having a nuclear weapon to kill untold millions of people. They're the greatest threat to the world right now, period. And Donald Trump's taking care of it. Here's what Holman said about the Pope yesterday. Listen.
I'm not going to speak for the president. I'm speaking for myself, a lifelong Catholic. I wish they stay out of immigration. They don't know what they're talking about. Because if they wore my shoes for 40 years and talked to a 9-year-old little girl that got raped multiple times, or stood in the back of a tractor trailer with 19 dead aliens at my feet, including a 5-year-old boy that baked to death, if they understood the atrocities that happened on the open border, I think their opinion would change. And
Tom Holman yesterday, I'm a practicing Catholic, but they don't know what they're talking about. And they need to stick to interpreting the Bible. We're going to be back in just a minute.
A new game day favorite is coming to Busch Stadium on Saturday, April 25th, when the Cardinals host the Seattle Mariners. That day, fans take home a Victory Blue Cardinals crewneck sweatshirt presented by Purina, a light and easy style that's perfect for spring and designed to fit right into your everyday wardrobe. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. A limited look you'll want to wear again and again. Tickets and info at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Jose Fermin. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fred Birding games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
All right, if you've been waiting to refinance or buy a new home for interest rates to come down a little bit, how about 4.5%? Golden Oak Lending is offering that rate right now on a 15-year fixed loan, and they can get you the money in your hands within about 14 days. Obviously, you have to qualify for it and all that stuff, but you see my point. You can quickly get your hands on the equity in your home, pay off those high interest rate credit cards or that short-term debt you've taken on, and then refinance to 4.5% and be happy. and not be stressed anymore about everything that's going on in the world, because debt can keep you awake at night. Let's put it that way. The average cash-out customer saving $1,100 a month. Now, that's a 5.442 APR, a 15-year fixed mortgage, 20% equity, qualified credit, and additional terms do apply. But call them today, 314-567-GOLD, goldenoaklending.com. Their NMLS number 114937.
6:30 now, 73 degrees. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk. The St. Louis NAACP wants inmate deaths at the downtown city jail to be investigated as negligent homicides. The chapter president says hospital staff told him inmates are arriving without basic medical information or history, complicating treatment. He went on to say if any of those issues led to any of the 20 inmate deaths since 2020, then it's a homicide and someone should be charged. One man died, 3 others were injured outside a North St. Louis market. Police were called to Gateway Market, that's in the 3000 block of Martin Luther King, around 6:30 last night. Investigators are not actively looking for any suspects. In sports, the Cards rallied for a 6-5 win over the Guardians yesterday. They'll wrap up the series today, 12:15. Blues beat the Penguins 7-5, and St. Louis City faces FC Tulsa in the round of 32 tonight at 7. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Some volume this morning on northbound 55. Not a surprise, multiple construction zones. So a little bit of moderate volume at 141, and then heavier from Bayless on up through the work zone there. We're starting to see a little bit of moderate volume along northbound 270 as well, and that at this hour is mainly at Doherty Ferry. Now, out west, southbound 61, some moderate volume headed down towards 64. But eastbound 64 and 70 still look pretty good from Wentzville into downtown. And we are fine on the Illinois side as well and on the bridges downtown. This report brought to you by i3 Broadband. Spring is here. Time to throw out the old treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, they're springing forward with their longest price guarantees ever on their gig speed internet services, so no data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, just saw my friends at Victory Men's Health yesterday. Sydney and the gang over there, they're just fantastic. You're going to love when you go in there. And here's the thing about it. It's up to you to make the first step. We can tell you about it. We can tell you what it's going to mean for your vitality and your energy and your overall health. But at the end of the day, you have to reach out. Just go to victorymenshealth.com and you can schedule your first appointment. 4 great locations. So there's one either near your work or your home, not too far. You go in, they take a blood test. It's pretty simple. They're very good at that as well. And then you meet with one of their medical professionals to talk about what they've found. It's a full blood panel. So you're seeing your A1C numbers, your PSA numbers, the vitamin levels in your body, your testosterone numbers. These are things you're probably not discussing with the GP if you're getting one physical a year. These guys are focused on men's health. The medical doctors in charge of Victory Men's Health are there to help you. They can do cancer screenings. They do heart screenings as well these days. So it's sort of one-stop shopping to make you feel like you again. Stop in and see them. You'll see what I'm talking about. Take my word for it. They're in O'Fallon, Illinois, O'Fallon, Missouri, Town and Country, and Sunset Hills, and about to add a 5th location in the Metro East. We'll be talking about that a little later this summer. Check them out online. Tell them Marc sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do you hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call 314-569-1050 or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
From St. Peter's to Smithton, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, welcome back. Just a quick reminder, we are still taking nominations to feed our first responders, and if you haven't had a chance to do that yet, please get your nominations in. We pick a different first responder every month, and then we, Grill Master Tony Stone, cooks up a nice feast for them, and we take them lunch. We do it. I deliver it once a month, and we're just over in the Metro East last month, honoring an officer over there who got shot in the line of duty. So all you got to do is go to 971talk.com to the contest page there. You'll find the link, and you submit your nomination. And it's pretty simple. You just tell us why you think a firefighter, police officer, EMS, a dispatcher, whoever it happens to be, deserves to be recognized for their service. And then we will pick a winner once a month, and Tony will cook the food, and I'll take it to them. So we need more nominations. So please do that. And remember, if you're catering an event, remember the guy that's doing all of this for free 12 months a year, 12 times a year, he provides free food for our first responders once a month, and that is Tony Stone at grillmastertony.com. So show him some love if you're looking to cater an event to your house or to your work or whatever it happens to be. Some of the best brisket I've ever eaten.
And the sides.
Oh, yeah.
So everything has been good I've had from him.
And here we are talking about food again. It always gravitates back to that. Let's get to our friend Nicole Murray, please. Hey, Nicole, how are you?
Oh, this week is kicking my butt.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's just one of those weeks. It's okay. You know, we all have them. So
we all have. Gordon Deal had one this morning, I heard. I heard you finished your newscast, and then there was silence, and it was like Gordon was off the microphone for some reason.
Oh, these
what
tech
happened?
issues. These tech issues.
Was it technical? I thought he was out of the room.
No, it was technical.
He was on. It sounded like his mic was off.
I thought Nicole was off the air and that you were still talking and that you didn't realize you were on the air.
No, I knew.
Yeah, it did sound like it.
We tried to turn on the mic and it faultied. I don't really know what happened.
That's okay.
That's a good technical term.
Mark's mic stand regularly falls down because he fiddles with it.
I saw that video. What are you doing over there?
They had to replace this whole part of it here that connects to the mic, and it wasn't my fault.
Whoa.
It was faulty.
Now, I could kind of get on board with that, except that it only seems to happen when you're sitting there, right?
No. It happened to Ethan on the Annie Fry show the other day. It just dropped off in his hand.
All right.
So it wasn't just me. I promise.
Right.
I'm going to get some Loctite on this thing, and that's going to fix it.
Because I think they only did it. They replaced it because it happened to Ethan. But not
Probably. No one care about Mark.
You'll get your crack engineering team on that and get that fixed right away, right?
When you say crack engineering team, that's actually a compliment. But when I hear crack engineering team, I think
you just think crack.
Like you're stupid. But that's actually it.
It is a compliment.
No, I know it means it. Doesn't that mean you're well informed?
You're on the ball.
You're
you
skilled.
Get it done.
But I feel like I'd say like my crack staff or something like that, and that means your janky, crappy staff. But that clearly doesn't mean that. Nicole, am I wrong? Is that just a generational thing?
I don't think you're wrong. I agree. Like, I wouldn't hear that and be like, oh, that's so nice. I'd be like,
my crack coworker, Kim.
Yeah, like
I didn't say crack fueled. I just said crack. So that was good.
Yeah.
All right. So what's happening out there in the business world?
All right. Futures are slightly lower. Tuesday, the Dow Industrials gained 317. The Nasdaq up 455. The S&P 500 up 81. The leader of the company set to build a $6 billion data center in Festus defended the controversial project and vowed to carry on with it despite a new lawsuit opponents have filed to stop it. Bob Clark, executive chairman of Clayco, said he called the news conference to address public backlash. Local donut shop Vincent Van Donut announced its immediate closure on social media over the weekend. The business at 1072 Tower Grove Ave had reopened last month after a 7-week hiatus. U.S. Central Command reports the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports is now fully into effect, completely cutting off Tehran's international sea trade that powers about 90% of its economy. Data says that more than 90% of Iran's nearly $110 billion worth of annual seaborne trade transits through the Strait of Hormuz. Buying a home could soon be easier. The Mortgage Bankers Association reports the average interest rate for 30-year mortgages decreased to 6.42% from 6.51% last week. Applications to refinance a home loan increased 5% week to week. Applications to purchase a home loan were 1% lower for the week. Snap shares jumped more than 6% after the company announced plans to lay off up to 16% of its global workforce in an effort to streamline operations. Snap is the parent company of popular messaging platform Snapchat. And finally, are you ready to say I do? Yeah, me neither. Census Bureau data says that marriage rates are at an all-time low, with only 47% of U.S. households consisting of married couples. This compares to the 66% 50 years ago.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Surprised.
I'm not surprised either.
It is sad.
Marriage is awesome, Nicole. It's
but
worth
like-
it. It's challenging, but it's so worth it. It's awesome. I'm serious.
But then I'd have to live with a boy, and boys are gross.
Right, Ethan? Right, Mark?
What, the boys are gross?
Well, I didn't say it.
Oh,
Hold
that
it.
marriage is worth it. I don't know where you were going there.
Mark, would you agree?
Nicole
Is marriage
said it.
worth it?
Oh, absolutely. You kidding me?
Really?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. I won't give up on it. Like, I haven't, written it off completely just yet. It's just,
Anything worth doing is hard. And that's the getting married part. People get all hyped up about the wedding, and that is fun. But then the challenging part is staying married because you're working with someone who has different ways of doing things, but it's also fun at the same time. It's awesome. And having a family is awesome. Big advocate.
All right. I'll consider it.
Okay.
Okay, Nicole.
Thanks, Nicole. We'll talk to you Friday.
Thanks, guys, so
All
much.
right. Appreciate that. Yeah, birth rates are declining, and this is a big issue in Europe too, right? Where they opened up their borders, and a bigger percentage of their population in parts of Europe than in the United States, but they opened up their borders, and then their birth rates have been consistently dropping, as they have in a lot of European and of course in America too. And the incoming population, their birth rates have continued to remain steady. So ultimately, you see a situation where majorities become minorities at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And the political influence is already obvious in places like Minneapolis, in the United States, and in France, and in parts of Germany and the United Kingdom and others, where you suddenly find yourself way behind, and government has played a huge role in that. In the de-evolution of the central family. They've discouraged it in many cases.
I mean, BLM was very clear when you look at the website. Black Lives Matter, that group wanted to dismantle the nuclear family.
Sure.
That is the goal of the left, and they've been very effective at it. It's no surprise that the conservative women are known to have far more children than the liberals. And yeah, I mean, to your point, talking about low birth rates, in 2025, we hit here in the United States a record low birth rate.
Yeah. If you wait till you can afford it, you won't do it. So you just have to ignore that. But yeah, you want it to be in the right circumstance. We get that for sure.
In the context of marriage, but is hopefully what it is. But
yes,
but life is life, and we want to protect life. And if you find yourself in that situation, there are so many organizations that want to help. And I get so frustrated when I hear people who support abortion will say, you expect these women to have these children, and then you just abandon them and you don't offer them any resources to help. That could not be farther from the truth. There are thousands of these pro-life clinics who will help walk with women after they have the child. There are churches who will help women after they have the child. It's ignorant. It's a lack of information you're not educated on all the resources out there, because that would be ridiculous that we would expect women to have a child and then say, all right, good luck, we're done. That's not how it works.
And that's good that there are support agencies out there like that. People just need to find out about them. By the way, congratulations to Richie, who pointed out that he's celebrating 28 years of marital bliss this very weekend.
There we go. Congratulations.
And I feel like his wife is maybe one of the better cooks I've ever seen based on some of his posts on Facebook. So congratulations to her.
Wait, so he posts pictures of his food?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry to knock on this, but one of the funniest things that Jimmy said this weekend when he was at the factory, Jimmy Failla, was how people nowadays take pictures of their food and they post, like you get to the restaurant, you're like, hold on, don't eat it yet. I have to take a picture of this. And they get all the right lighting and the angles. And then they post, it's like a picture of chicken or lasagna. And he's like, can you imagine if we had our digital cameras back then or whatever, not even a digital camera, film camera, and you're taking a picture of your lasagna and the person at Walgreens is printing the picture of your lasagna. It's like, would you bring that picture and just show your friend?
To people.
Cool,
it is weird that we do that.
Lasagna.
Yeah.
Wow. Things have really changed now.
Very much so. All right. Coming up, we're going to get to other news for you. We've also got Brian Riegel next hour. We'll talk more about the THC debate that's going on with hemp in the state of Missouri. We'll be right back.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
A little bit of volume out there this morning at this hour. Northbound 55 at 141, and then at Bayless headed into the construction zone. Northbound 270, some moderate volume. A little bit at 21, and then Big Bend on up through Manchester. And 70 eastbound, there was some moderate volume right around Lake St. Louis Boulevard, but this is not much. We are quiet on the Illinois side, at least on the bridges. Northbound Route 3, a little slow at Monsanto Avenue, and some moderate volume on westbound 64 near 159 in that construction zone. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Triton Exteriors. We take care of your home. It's that simple. Triton-STL.com. Home improvement projects can come with a lot of headaches. We save you time by offering packaged services that are easy to understand and based on your needs. We take care of the details so you don't have to. Visit us at Triton-STL.com. That's Triton-STL.com.
Time to get your name in while there's still space, and that would be to get to the next event held by our friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, where you can get questions to answers like you can get to answers, I should say, to questions like, when am I going to be able to afford to retire? How much income will I have in retirement? These are things people just take for granted, right? You can look at your Social Security statement and all that stuff, but if you've got money you've saved in a 401k or IRA, how do you use that? How do you use it for tax advantages? How do you protect it so it doesn't go away? These are conversations you need to have before you retire. You can do that coming up on Tuesday, the 28th of this month, 28th of April, at the Doubletree in Chesterfield at 6:30. Here's the phone number. It's free. They just need a head count so you know who's coming. Now, I get there about 6 o'clock, kind of mingle with people, and hope I get to meet a lot of you who show up. Annie will be there. Mark Reardon will be there. And we just hang out for a little while. And then about 6:30, Bob and Thomas will take over and school you on some stuff you need to know about your retirement. 314-993-9494. Call them, let them know you're coming just so they have a head count, or go online anytime to retirementkey.com.
97.1 FM Talk, proud to partner with Missouri Right to Life.
This is Steve Rupp, president of Missouri Right to Life. Join us at our Make Missouri Pro-Life Again banquet with keynote Riley Gaines on May 20th in St. Charles. Go to the Missouri Right to Life website for details.
The Cards, the Guardians.
Siteman Cancer Center game time 12:15. Play ball. Siteman Cancer Center, national leader in cancer.
The home of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM KMOX.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Hey,
St. Louis, need to sell your home fast? The Gelman team with eXp Realty can make you an instant cash offer in just 24 hours. No showings, no repairs, no waiting, no drama. Visit thegelmanteam.com to see what your home could sell for fast. Or give the Gelman team a call at 314-336-1991.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is St. Louis conservative.
What's happening?
Go, you know the thing.
What the hell is going on?
In other news.
We were just talking about taking pictures of your food, and McDonald's is playing into that. They know that people love to do that, so they're adding what they're calling Instagrammable new drinks to the menu in hopes of luring some younger customers. These include energy drinks, which is, really, give the kids energy drinks.
Instagrammable.
Yeah, so really they come in vibrant colors, just very pretty, I guess, is the idea.
Nothing from McDonald's that is Instagrammable.
Is that so you'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram?
Of course. Yes.
It says the new beverages will include a dirty Dr. Pepper and a mango pineapple refresher. But they're trying to compete with Starbucks because we know that particularly young women they love those. I think they're called refreshers at Starbucks too.
Yeah.
They're really, the pink
brew.
and yeah.
I'm sorry. I just never really considered doing that. Have you noticed? I'll admit I haven't watched baseball on TV yet this season. I've been to a couple of games down at Busch. Have you noticed, in general, if you're a baseball fan, that the games are taking a little longer? And what they're saying here is that part of it has to do with technology. Like, they had the pitch count now, like you have to pitch within 30 seconds or something like that. So the games had started to shrink in length to like 2 hours and 38 minutes last season per game. Now it's stretched back out to 2 hours and 42 minutes because of the automated ball strike system that they've instituted, where they have to wait for the computer to tell them if it was a strike or not. And if it takes a challenge, if there's a challenge, it takes a while. So it's making the games a little bit longer if the pitches are contested. So there you have it. So if you've wondered, you're right. But I don't know how many people are going to notice 5 extra minutes if they're having a cold beer and a hot dog.
Those challenges seem like they go pretty quick, though. Like everyone, when we were there Friday night, there was a challenge in it. It seemed like it went pretty quick. It wasn't like a 3-minute thing, it didn't seem, but maybe it was.
Well, today is tax day, a day that many people don't like, and I guess businesses are trying to ease some of that, so they're offering different promotions. Like, for example, Qdoba's offering a tax day promotion called Guac Relief.
Okay.
And they're trying to basically give away some free stuff. It says that they reward members can complete a short online survey through April 15th to receive a $5 reward for full-size entrees. Olive Garden's doing a buy one, take one deal. And there's a couple others where, like, for example, Subway's offering a buy one, get one deal on select footlong sandwiches. They always find some reason to try to do some deal to get people in. But anyway, if you're looking for some free food because you're irritated it's tax day, there you go.
Or if you just want to look at monkeys, here's a story for you. The world's oldest living gorilla, living in captivity, that is, celebrated a birthday yesterday. Fatou, Fatou, I guess that's how it's pronounced, lives in the Berlin Zoo, and this gorilla is 69 years old.
That's great.
Spent the day with a feast Monday munching on cherry tomatoes, beets, leeks, and lettuce, which is probably maybe a little different than what he normally... I assume they gave him something a little
Not
extra.
Even a banana?
Yeah. No birthday cake because sugar isn't healthy for the aging primate.
I tell my 3-year-old that, and he goes, every time I get food out of the fridge now, he goes, Mom, that's not healthy. That is not healthy. Yeah, oh yeah. Everything he tells me if it's healthy or not.
Wow.
Yep. Got to get him started young,
I
right?
guess you do.
He calls me out, though, too. Mom, Dad is not healthy.
No
Okay,
bunny,
buddy.
no bunny bread for him.
That's right, no bunny bread. All right, breakups no doubt are hard, but man, this woman did not take her breakup well. So this woman and her boyfriend, I guess they live in New Mexico, they had split up. They got into an argument for whatever reason, and he was supposed to fly out the next day. Well, what did she do? She called American Airlines and claimed her now ex-boyfriend was going to take a bomb onto the airplane. So when he arrived, they detained him, they searched his car, and took all his possessions, and they ended up going to her house, and when they arrived, police say she was allegedly threatening to get a knife and use it on an officer, so she ended up getting arrested. And then it all kind of started unraveling on her, and they realized that, yeah, she was just ticked off that they had split, and she wanted to get back at him, so she falsely claimed that he was bringing a bomb onto the plane.
Hell hath no fury, huh?
Seriously.
Wow.
She gonna catch some
That's
charges,
a lot
I
of
hope.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of crazy. That NFL reporter who was caught with Mike Vrabel at a posh resort has finally resigned. She resigned from The Athletic after this thing kind of blew up, even though the two of them denied that there was anything more to it than just friendship. Ultimately, she caved, and she had he's still employed. I wonder why she had to quit.
Didn't he dodge a press conference, though?
Oh, maybe.
Pretty sure he didn't show up to something he was supposed to be at. Now, I wonder, she's been all over. She's been ESPN and wherever she worked most recently. I wonder if she's going to be in media anymore and just take some time away, or if this is it.
Probably, yeah. She says people have been feeding speculation that is simply unmoored from the facts, but I'm going to step away from this because of the public attention it's drawing. So there you have it. All right, we're going to be back in just a minute. Stay tuned.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
2026, I've been hearing from customers and friends that their utility bills went up quite a bit for their electric bill. That being said, and you're looking at buying a new air conditioner, or you're thinking, hey, I guess let's just get an air conditioner so it helps with the electric bills. If you have an old system, it definitely can help you. But watch your thinking. Just because you are told this is a so-called high-efficient air conditioner, it's not going to save you nowhere near what you think it's going to save you. Just replacing your old equipment is the biggest thing, and make your house efficient. An air conditioner is not going to make your house efficient. That being said, it's a great time to purchase an air conditioner if you get the correct one. Don't overspend. Don't believe the hype. In other words, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Call me, Bart Inman, at 314, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, the easiest of numbers, 314-293-2600, or bartinman.com. God bless.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
It's day 3 of the U.S. blockade on Iran's ports in the Strait of Hormuz. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
You know, we've obliterated them, and this almost seems to be more of a reaction than we had before. So we'll see. I mean, look, it only matters the end result.
And President Trump tells Fox Business that end result could come soon with another round of U.S.-Iran talks, perhaps tomorrow.
They cannot have a nuclear weapon.
The price of oil has come down from well over $100 a barrel. Now WTI is at about 91. Fox's Chris Foster reports.
Oil prices are up about 50% since the Iran conflict started. President Trump says he thought it would be more.
And I was willing to do that.
He tells Maria Bartiromo on Fox Business he expects the conflict to be over very soon and oil prices will drop to where they were or close to it.
Overall, the impact on the economy, do you expect a hit to growth? Do you expect a spike in inflation?
Well, look, there's a hit because, you know, we go through it for whatever it is, 6 weeks. There's going to be a hit, but it's going to recover, I think, fully.
Despite U.S. brokered talks in Washington between Israel and Lebanon, the U.S.-Israeli attacks continue in that country. They're not part of the ceasefire.
It's trying to defeat the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah, an effort that has claimed more than 2,000 Lebanese lives and displaced thousands more. The Israel Defense Forces says it struck Hezbollah terrorists and military infrastructure over the past few days. Yesterday's talks between the Israeli and Lebanese governments were the first in 30 years. Lebanon called for a ceasefire and measures to address its humanitarian crisis.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. There are 2 new empty seats in Congress the day after Tony Gonzalez, a Republican, resigned over an affair with a staffer who committed suicide last year. And Eric Swalwell quit in a growing scandal. A 5th woman came forward alleging sexual misconduct or assault.
I did not consent to any sexual activity.
Lana Drews claims Swalwell raped and choked her in 2018. Swalwell's attorney in a statement denies each and every allegation as false. America's listening to Fox News.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in the live market. No house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Good morning on this tax day. I'm Kim Sainanj for 97.1 FM Talk. 7:03 is our time right now. Cloudy, 73 degrees downtown at the Arch. A wild update to the city council race in St. Charles that ended with a 1-vote difference. Turns out it was actually a tie. It came down to a provisional ballot that election officials verified on Monday. Now, under the city's charter, candidates Chris Kyle and Bill Otto may draw lots to determine which of them will serve on the council. That could mean, yes, flipping a coin, drawing straws, or even pulling numbers out of a hat. The Ferguson police officer who suffered a serious brain injury after being knocked down during a protest in 2024 is back home in St. Louis. Officer Travis Brown has been doing rehab for months in Georgia. He'll continue doing that now in St. Louis. To celebrate Officer Brown's homecoming, Ferguson Police will be at Heaven's Creamery today at 3 o'clock, his favorite spot. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page has filed a lawsuit against County Council and its chair, Rita Hurd Days, over how much power he has while he's traveling internationally. Page is preparing to leave for London on Sunday amid ongoing budget disagreements. According to a county ordinance, if the county executive is out of the country, the chair of the council acts as the county executive. Page is requesting a temporary restraining order to prevent the transfer of power during his trip. In sports, the Cardinals rallied for a 6-5 win over the Guardians after 10 innings yesterday. They'll wrap up that series today with the day game, 12:15 first pitch at Busch Stadium. And hey, another win for the Blues. They beat the Penguins yesterday, 7-5 the final. And finally, St. Louis City faces FC Tulsa in the round of 32 tonight, 7 o'clock the start time. This, by the way, part of the U.S. Open Cup. 7:05 right now and 73 degrees. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we look pretty good on the roads right now. If you are a northbound 55 driver, you face the usual volume in the construction zones. So at 141 and then starting at Bayless, headed into the one to the north. Northbound 270, moderate volume 21 on up through 64. Eastbound 70, a little slow. There was an accident reported near 370, and there's some volume out there. If you are headed in from Illinois, we look fine on the bridges downtown. 64 westbound, there is some moderate volume, and that's mainly around 159 due to road work. This report brought to you by Barron Mirror Glass and Door. Simply the finest when it comes to mirror glass and shower doors. You can't find better quality, prices, or service. They have the basics all the way up to the elite. Barron Mirror Glass and Door can't be beat. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We stay in the spring, early summer weather pattern. A little unsettled looking sky on this Wednesday. A mix of clouds and sunshine, windy and warm. And let's keep an eye out for some scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms, but no all-day rain. 82 for the high. This is not a widespread thunderstorm event for us. On to tonight. Scattered showers, couple of thunderstorms, 64. Thursday, partly sunny. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
71 degrees now. Our time is 7:06. You can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you wherever you go. Listen to us on the free Odyssey app, but you can also watch the show live every morning. We're on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble with our Window World webcam. Window World, simply the best for less.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
It's a Wednesday morning, a little bit of rain depending on where you are right now. Looks like we're going to face that threat for part of the day. So best of luck with that, and maybe it'll cool things off. I think we're supposed to have a high in the 70s. That's a good thing today. So we're glad you're back with us here on the Marc Cox Morning Show. I'm Mark. That's Kim St. Ange. Ethan Bright across from us over here running the operation this morning. And, of course, Susan Thomas with your traffic. Just remember, if you cannot listen to the show for all 4 hours, I mean, we've been here since 5. You can always download the podcast. We make it really easy for you. Each podcast segment, it has a lengthy description of what we were talking about. So if you missed an interview or you missed a subject, you can go back and pick that up and listen to it at your leisure. And we appreciate that. Go to 971talk.com, wherever you download your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, it's all on there. Just search for the Marc Cox Morning Show, and you can find that. That's a good thing. It is tax day. That's bad news for most people. Wait till the last minute if they owe taxes. I was discovered this morning that Kim used to wait till the last minute even when they owed her money.
Yeah, I would panic and I would call my mom. I hate math. I hate filling in the things. I just don't like it. And it was too stressful for me, which is sad because I had a very simple tax return, but I still hated it. And God knew that, and he brought me a husband who is a CPA and now does our taxes every year.
Prayers
Thanks, Michael.
answered. Yes, Michael, thank you for that. Does he help friends too?
Doesn't help friends, but I mean, he does it as a side hustle. So during tax season, he has some, not a ton, but he has some clients. He helps out. Yeah.
Nice. It'd be nice to have that that skill set.
Pretty great.
I'll bet it is. To have that skill set with confidence, instead of one of those things that lures you online with the promise that you can do your taxes for free till you find out that halfway into it you don't qualify for the free portion.
Oh, I know.
And then you're worried that maybe if you actually went to a human being that knew what the hell they were doing, there may be some additional ways you could save some money that you that you're not going to know.
That would also irritate me. Finding all the documents I needed was irritating. And yeah, I've heard that too, where people do TurboTax, which if you have a simple return is fine. But I've heard people saying that they owed, like a few $100s, and then they go to an actual CPA and they're saving hundreds of dollars because there's all these ways to write things off you're not realizing that are completely legal.
Sure.
But yeah, if you're just doing it on TurboTax, you're not going to think to do that. So it really is, I'm not just advocating for my husband. It really is, it sounds like worth it to go to someone who knows what they're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, that pays off. But it is tax day, and best of luck to you. We're going to go over some of the things a little later that signify tax day and what it really means and who's paying how much, which is pretty shocking and always good to remember on this day when you actually have to do the math and maybe write a check to the federal government.
Not people who are mad about the Iran war, because I was learning that people are protesting Trump and the Iran war and just refusing to pay their federal taxes. They say, yeah, I'll pay my city, maybe even my state taxes, but I'm not paying my federal taxes. And they think the IRS is just not going to come after them.
We'll see.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah, no kidding. That is absolutely the truth. Up next, we'll talk more about that ongoing discussion to revise the hemp regulations in the state of Missouri. We're going to talk to Brian Riegel. He runs a business that is dependent on that, and he's trying to make his pitch to the legislators on why they need to fix this problem before it ends up putting him out of business. He's coming up next, but right now we want to bring you some of our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Governor Pritzker signed a new law that decriminalizes spreading HIV.
Yes, he did. So in 86, they said, if you knowingly sleep with someone and you have AIDS and you don't tell them or you knowingly infect them, we're going to charge you with a crime. Makes perfect sense, right? Yesterday, J.B. Pritzker stopped that because it makes people feel bad. You couldn't make this stuff up.
I think having a deal to stop both the war and to stop the enrichment of uranium is a good thing for America. It's a good thing for the world. It will also get the Strait of Hormuz opened back up ostensibly. And so I support a deal. Obviously, the longer, the better.
Wow. That is a Democrat representative, Olszewski, who is in favor of them reaching some sort of deal here to stop, as long as it stops the enrichment of uranium. That's what the president is after here.
As we initiate this process, the budget resolution followed up with a reconciliation bill, and what it will include are all elements that I think that, as we have talked with the Speaker and folks in the House of Representatives, they understand where we're.
If somebody could break down that word salad from John Thune, I would appreciate it. Will you pass the Save of America Act? It's a very simple question. You have one job.
Jesus himself did not run around saying, I'm the Messiah. I'm the Messiah.
The brilliance and intelligence of Joy Behar on The View yesterday, who made that statement, and her own View members took her to task over it, not the least of which was at the end, Whoopi Goldberg. Whenever Whoopi doesn't like a discussion, she just cuts to break. She finally just said, okay, I've had enough of this. We need to go to break. Because they were schooling Joy Behar, who by the way, was raised Catholic, just so you know, and now considers herself agnostic. She doesn't believe in heaven or hell or any of it now. She just wants to be a good person, even though she has more hate in her heart for Donald Trump than just about anybody I've ever heard of in my life. But I just so you don't have to listen to this, like watch The View for these clips, we clipped a little bit of it for you here. If you're eating, I apologize. Put the spoon down for a minute and listen to the just vacuous thoughts of one Joy Behar and her fellow castmates here.
Jesus himself did not run around saying, I'm the Messiah. I'm the Messiah.
Jesus
this
kind
guy,
of did say he was
you're
the
supposed to have a little bit of...
That's exactly what Jesus said. I am the Messiah.
You know what? No, he did not.
It's been a minute.
Here's the thing.
The Pope's got him. He's got God behind. She just said, I knew Jesus. Jesus was not narcissistic like this guy.
But when you are the Messiah, it's not narcissism to say it.
Yes, it is.
When you are the Messiah.
I'm going to move this along because this is like, it's too much for me.
It's just embarrassing that she's saying that. Has she read the Bible? He says it so many times in so many different ways.
Yeah, she claims to have.
Well, apparently not.
He did not go around saying he was the Messiah. Well, he actually did.
I am the way, the truth,
no,
the
he
life.
Didn't. I knew Jesus,
Son of
she
Man.
Said.
There, I could go on and on and on. But I mean, who was it who said it's not narcissistic to say you're the Messiah if you are the Messiah?
I don't even know who the lady was. She was sitting to the left of Joy Behar as you were between Joy and Whoopi. She was sitting there, and she goes, "It's not narcissistic if you are the Messiah." You are allowed to say that, which he did many, many times.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
The apostles always talked about how conceited Jesus was.
Yeah.
It's all over the Gospels. I'm kidding. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's
thank
stupid.
You very
I mean,
much.
come on, Joy.
I missed that part of it. Oh, boy. All right. Coming up, we're going to talk about hemp and why some people think that the law passed last year regulating it is overburdensome and is going to put too many people out of business. We'll get to our friend Brian Riegel after the break. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning. A little bit of the usual volume along northbound 55, especially around 141 and around Bayless, headed into the construction zones there. Northbound 55 slowing in pockets now between 55 and 64. 44 is in good shape. 64 looks good. 70, a little slow, headed for 79 and 370, and then it opens up. Quiet through North County and looking good on the Illinois side. Just a brief slowdown, westbound 64, right at 159 due to road work. This report is brought to you by The Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with Traffic 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, we need to talk about the rain that is probably falling depending on where you are. It's definitely going to rain. There's a chance of some thunderstorms today. I know that. But over the next couple days, we are expecting some raindrops. And if you've got a wet basement, it's a problem. If you've got a driveway that's uneven and water pools, it's a problem. We can do one-stop shopping for you and fix all of those things with Home Shield Foundation repairs. They'll come out and give you a free estimate. That no sweat there. Calling them, it doesn't cost you a dime, but it might get you a fix to a problem that is not going to fix itself. If your basement's leaking, it doesn't just suddenly stop one day. You have to plug it up so it doesn't do that anymore. And when Home Shield does it, when my friend Matt Hayes comes out there, he gives you a warranty that's going to last for a lifetime. And that's the peace of mind you need. If you've had this before, we experienced a little bit of it once. It's something you don't want to have to deal with every time it rains. Plus, it can lead to mold and it can ruin your stuff. So get it fixed. Call 314-271-9900. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. That's 271-9900. Get you over to Matt or go online to HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 314-567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Step outside and fall in love with your backyard again. From inviting porch overhangs to durable composite decks and cozy screen rooms, Lakeside Renovation and Design creates stunning outdoor living spaces designed for relaxation, entertaining, and making memories. With expert craftsmanship and top-quality materials, your new outdoor oasis will be perfect for every season. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design today or visit lakesiderd.com to get started. Let's turn your backyard into the retreat you've always dreamed of.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules. The Marc Cox Morning Show is St. Louis conservative.
All right, the Missouri legislature once again looking at regulating hemp in the state of Missouri in such a way that it's going to put some people who are in the business out of business. And we want to talk a little bit more about that today. There's a group of people, the Missouri Hemp Board, and one of those board members is Brian Riegel, who's joining us right now and who operates his own business called You Are Lit Drinks that contain THC or some derivative of it. Brian, you can explain that better than I do. Tell us about your product.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
So, I've got two different types of businesses, and the You Are Lit falls underneath my South Point Hemp. So the You Are Lit, it's an adult beverage. It's kind of like an alcohol alternative.
Okay.
To people who want an adult time, an adult beverage in their hand. So that's one part that is probably going to survive this HB 2641, except the language in here will not let me manufacture in Missouri anymore. I'm going to have to manufacture it out of the state and ship it back in. It just doesn't make sense.
So you could sell it here, but you won't be able to make it here, right?
Well, there's not an exact call out in this language, but it was ignored. Beverages were ignored in this language and not prohibited. So we do believe that brand will continue on. But yeah, my manufacturing is leaving the state if this goes through.
I assume Illinois would allow that versus Missouri.
Yes, I do believe so. And as right now, we're still calling on the governor to veto this, so I'm not necessarily packing my bags and trying to leave the state. I'm trying to fix it here first.
Yeah, your business is what, down near Union? Is that right?
Yeah, Union, Missouri, and then I'm a dairy farmer right here in Washington, Missouri also. So we do the ag, we grow it, we extract it, and we manufacture.
Yeah. Well, I know that the Hemp Trade Association says that the hemp beverage industry could generate $75 million a year in Missouri, which obviously it brings taxes and all of that stuff just from a business perspective. Is it the legalized marijuana industry that's trying to shut down hemp products?
Yeah, it'd be the permitted marijuana industry, right? Marijuana is only permitted. If you get caught with over 6 ounces, you're still a felony in Missouri. And one of the largest companies that are behind this bill is actually on the Canadian Stock Exchange. So we're not just talking about companies outside the state. We're talking about companies outside our country making a mockery of our legislation. And I don't get how this works. I'm not born and raised in politics, but I'm learning quick.
Well, I know I've talked to some police chiefs about part of this problem was the product was a Delta 8 and some of the other stuff that was being sold over the counter, and the fear that was that kids were getting their hands on it. So when the effort was first started to regulate that, isn't that where that concern came from?
That is the ploy that they've seen. I don't know if you guys seen in the past, but they used to hold up the Skittles and the Doritos and stuff like that. Those products on the bottom right-hand side of the package usually had a CA, a capital M, and an exclamation point, which meant they were California marijuana. We've got laws in place that says that's illegal already. We don't need new laws. Just get rid of that trash.
Interesting. So I was under the impression, tell me if I'm wrong, that wasn't there something originally passed about a year ago that would have, didn't I have you on once before talking about that they needed to fix this original bill?
So there's been bills presented all the time, and on the hemp side, we're always trying to find regulation. We're trying to get the child-resistant packaging, the labeling, make sure the consumer understands what they're doing. And for whatever reason, our bill that's got the hemp people behind it never moves through the legislation, but marijuana sponsors a bill, and it can move through so fast, it just makes your head spin. And so we're always defending some bill that's trying to eradicate us versus work on a bill that builds a good, sound, rules and stuff that we need to go by.
I'll be honest, I'm not super familiar with a lot of these hemp products. Obviously, I know they exist and they're very popular, but just curious, Brian, if you could give me some insight on the typical customer. I'm just curious about what people are telling you as far as the interest in the product.
So on my South Point hemp side, my typical customer, 45 plus, they can't sleep, they hurt, arthritis, anxiety is a huge one. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Medicare on April 1st just gave us guidance that how they're going to start covering up to $500 for patients. This will be the first time, if Missouri passes this will be the first time Missouri makes something illegal that Medicare covers. And then on my drink side, the You Are Lit side, it's going to be the adults maybe going to a restaurant or sitting on the back porch and just instead of drinking 1 or 2 glasses of wine, they might drink, a can of You Are Lit.
Yeah. Is there, how do you gauge the strength? I know they talk about, alcohol by volume, things like that. How do you gauge the strength in the drink version of this?
So on the drink version of this, right, we're all kind of predisposed to alcohol as a percentage. So, right, you got to look at the percentage and you got to see the size of the can.
Right.
With hemp and cannabis, what you do is you just look at how many milligrams are in the package, and you're just taking so many milligrams of a cannabinoid. And usually on the adult side, we're talking about Delta-9, THC Delta-9. And, a 5 milligram is a nice starting point for somebody, just low and slow. But there are some people that are going to want that 10 or 25 milligram drink, and they'll have a few of them in a sitting.
So I would imagine are there people you mentioned they would sell these in restaurants and bars. I think that's how it's been marketed before. Would it be available in a carryout, like a retail carryout store?
Yeah,
it is, right?
Yeah, anywhere that you see alcohol sold,
right,
that's where the beverages fit. Anywhere where they're already doing the 21 and over, whether it's in Missouri, we have the alcohol in the gas stations or a liquor store, restaurants, some bars, but and we're already out here in these spaces, and you don't see what some of the media is trying to portray or what they're trying to do at the legislation level. They're trying to tell all these horror stories. It doesn't make zombies. It actually gives people more caution when they drink this versus alcohol would.
But
it's
right. But again, their concern is that is the concern raised that it would be easier for underage kids to get their hands on it than a regular alcoholic beverage? I mean, is it regulated like that?
So the regulations that we want in the hemp industry would regulate it just like alcohol.
Okay.
This House Bill 2641 just takes it all, makes it illegal, and shoves all hemp into the marijuana. So instead of being in over 2,000 stores, 2,000 to 5,000 stores, they're going to shove it all into 215 stores.
So that
is a monolithous. It's horrible.
Yeah, you'd have to go to a dispensary then to get it. In other words, if this doesn't change.
It would, but like I say, the beverages are carved out, but the rest of the products, you're giving up your Second Amendment right as soon as you walk into a dispensary. You're put on a list.
Wow. Brian, I'm about out of time here. Have you gotten any feedback from the governor on where he stands on this?
Not necessarily, but we do know that when we dropped off 10,000 handwritten letters yesterday, we hope that we do get his attention, and he takes the time to study this and give it the time it needs before he makes his decision.
All right. Brian Riegel, thanks for your time this morning. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Yep. Good talking to you. Brian Riegel there with the Missouri Hemp Board and business owner as well, trying to get this thing figured out and try to encourage the governor to veto that bill that just passed the legislature. All right, coming up, we will get to Kim on a whim in just a few minutes.
Last year, we had 295 trials where we'd been offered a total of $90 million on all those cases. When the dust settled, we had recovered over $1.1 billion in verdicts and mid-trial settlements. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won a lot, $30 billion and counting. The best part of all those wins is that it helps you when you hire us. All those wins allow us to let the insurance company know we mean business. And believe me, they know who we are. If you've been injured, Google Morgan & Morgan results. You're not bragging if it's a fact. 3 million people tried to hire us last year alone. That happened for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com and let's get started this minute. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
42% of Missouri fourth graders can barely read. 42%. It's the worst result in 20 years. If kids can't read by third grade, they fall behind in school and many never catch up. But other states have provided a roadmap for success. Missouri needs one universal reading test for all third graders and one clear statewide standard for what it means to pass that test. A struggling reader who still can't read after extra help and a second chance at the test should repeat third grade with some exemptions. We also need to end the outdated 3Qing method, which encourages guessing instead of reading, and require teachers to be trained in the science of reading. In Mississippi and Indiana, test scores jumped up dramatically after these reforms, and Missouri can do the same. Missouri children deserve to become confident, capable readers, and strong early literacy reforms can make it happen. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by the Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. 7:30 the time right now, 73 degrees. The St. Louis NAACP wants inmate deaths at the downtown city jail to be investigated as negligent homicides. The chapter president says hospital staff have told him inmates are arriving without basic medical information or history, complicating the treatment. He went on to say if any of those issues led to any of the 20 inmate deaths since 2020, then it's a homicide and someone should be charged. One man has died, 3 others were injured outside a North St. Louis market. Police were called to Gateway Market in the 3000 block of Martin Luther King around 6:30 last night. Investigators say they're not actively looking for any suspects. In sports, the Cardinals rallied for a 6-5 win over the Guardians. They'll wrap up that series today with a day game at Busch Stadium, 12:15 first pitch. Blues beat the Penguins 7-5 last night, and St. Louis City faces FC Tulsa in the round of 32 tonight at 7. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We've got some volume out there on northbound 55 in the construction zones. It's not bad at 141. Heavier as you head toward Bayless. Northbound 270, slow pockets between 55 and 64. We've got southbound 270 with some moderate volume at Ladue Road. And eastbound 64, a little slow out west at Prospect, then at Timberlake Manor and on either side of 170. Westbound is lined up now from Hampton out through Hanley. And 70 eastbound, there is some slow-moving traffic headed for 370 this morning. So K through 370, and then it opens up. Quiet through North County and some volume now westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Another Haverty's Furniture showroom is opening soon in Fenton and Grabois Bluffs. With over a century of experience, Haverty's Furniture knows the best sofa is the one that fits your style, your space, and your budget. Experience Haverty's regret-free guarantee for yourself. A new location is opening soon in Fenton and Grabois Bluffs. Start browsing now at havertys.com.
Let's talk about your backyard for just a minute. I just went to the website here, my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. That's chesterfieldfence.com, and you can go on there right from the beginning and pick out exactly what it is you think you're looking for. Maybe you need windows and doors on there, pergolas, patios, sunrooms. They can fix you up in all of these categories, and, you know, that's the thing about it. Their sunrooms are just gorgeous, and it gives you an all-season room where you can be out there and you can enjoy your backyard all year round. Those are just great. They can do that. They can add them onto the back of your house. They can upgrade your patio to something with just screens, so you can enjoy it that way. The possibilities are just endless, and they've got a beautiful showroom down in the Chesterfield Valley. You can go down and take a look at all of these structures really in the flesh. You can go down there and hang out and talk to them about the possibilities of what would work best in your space. and they'll do free project design on top of it. I love that at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Been around a long time, of course, owned and operated by the same local ownership since 1968. You can't beat that. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. They're going to give you 48 months, same as cash financing, which makes it really easy. They're simply the best for less. The sign that you had the very best is right there in the yard, and they take a lot of pride in what they do. So check them out online. It's chesterfieldfence.com.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do you hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call 314-569-1050 or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Real talk, today's issues. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
It's never too early to learn that the government is a greedy piglet that suckles on a taxpayer's teat until they have sore, chapped nipples.
Yep, it's tax day, baby. I always thought that bite would be just perfect for tax day or any other day that we're talking about important government matters, including them confiscating your income to pay for things they deem important in government, right? So you don't elect people on how to save you money, Kim. You elect them on how they're going to spend your money. And spend it they do. So I thought it might be interesting for a minute to look at a few tax facts here. What do you think? You know when taxes started, Kim? Income tax?
When income tax started? No, I don't.
1913. So we didn't have an income tax in this country till the beginning of the 20th century. And the first tax form was 4 pages long, including instructions. The whole form. Like, taxes ought to be on a postcard, in my opinion. If we had a flat tax in this country, you'd just put it on a postcard, and it would be that simple. Now, you might still be able to do withholding, but you made X amount, you pay a 10% flat tax, and you send that amount to the government. Should be that easy. Kim, you were talking earlier about your struggles with income taxes?
Well, that I don't like them?
That you put it off because you just
I don't like filing taxes. Yes, I hate it.
Nobody likes filing them, but
no,
you
I
just
don't
didn't
like
the
process. It stressed me. Yeah, it stresses me out.
You'll be happy to know that you're in good company. Albert Einstein, one of the smartest men ever, found tax returns so difficult he hired a tax professional because math is hard.
It is hard. I like to think I'm intelligent, and I flipped out every time I had to do my taxes. My mom would get a call like the day before, and I'd be full-blown panicked that I'm like, I can't do this. And I'm not that super high anxiety type person, but for whatever reason, taxes brought it out in me.
Yeah. Do you know, here's a good question for you. Do you know what the highest tax bracket ever was in the United States of America? Because we talk about the Democrats would love to have more confiscatory tax policies.
Well, people in Europe, don't they pay quite literally 60% of their income sometimes will go to taxes?
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everything's free, Kim.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Everything's free. Their health care's free.
True.
During World War II, the highest tax bracket in the United States was
45%.
91% during World War II.
That's a crime.
The highest tax bracket.
Well, I would hope.
So that was the top 1% paying their fair share, I guess, in the eyes of the country at the time.
Who was in office when that happened?
Well,
who enacted
FDR,
that?
I don't know who enacted it. Congress clearly changed the tax brackets. The IRS, the agency that became the IRS was originally tasked with enforcing prohibition in the 1920s. And then when booze became legal again, they shifted to sticking it to you on your taxes, right? They're taking all the fun out of life, aren't they? Did you know that the federal tax code is over 70,000 pages long? So good
insane.
Luck finding an answer. I mean, that's why these accountants have to constantly go to class and learn what's in the new big, beautiful bill and all that, because they keep changing one word here or one paragraph there out of 70,000 pages. It's got to be maddening to keep up with.
Well, and even just talking to Michael, my husband, about it, there's so many ways, like different things you can write off. But unless you study taxes, you'd have no idea. But you can get really creative and find ways to save money, and it's legal. You're not being shysty about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what it means if somebody says that you are, let me see here, if you are in the bottom half of taxpayers? Do you know what you have to make? If you make less than $50,000 a year, you're in the bottom half of taxpayers in terms of income, and you face an average income tax rate of about 4%. Because the more money you make, you pay a bigger percentage of income of taxes, obviously.
Right.
And the top 50% of all taxpayers pay 97% of all federal individual income taxes. The top 50% of taxpayers, wage earners, paid 97% of all federal individual income taxes, while the bottom 50% paid the remaining 3%. So the whole tax the rich, pay your fair share thing kind of flies out the window when you look at it that way.
Well, the liberals would probably like them to go back to the 91%.
Probably.
That's fair in their mind.
Probably. And here to me was the one of the more stunning parts of this. What did I do with it? Hang on. Let me find it. Because I thought that was pretty interesting. The top 1% of taxpayers pay the highest average income tax rate of 26.1%. The top 1% of taxpayers, that's what they pay. The top 1% of taxpayers accounted for more income taxes paid than the bottom 90% combined. So again, paying your fair share, this is what we're talking about here. The top 4 or 5% of taxpayers pay the vast majority of all taxes in the country.
So for people who do say the whole tax the rich mantra, I would like them to react to these statistics. Surely they've heard them and they just somehow interpret them differently.
They don't care. They support
but you can't not
progressive
care.
income
It's a
tax
fact.
scheme.
So how can you just ignore the fact?
It's a good question. So the top 1% pay 40% of all taxes. If you're between the 5% and 1%, if you land in the top 5, then you would be responsible for another 35. I think that's what this says here. I'm trying to read. It's kind of faded when it printed. So in other words, the top 5% pay 70% of all these taxes. And I mean, it's pretty incredible when you look at how how we've allowed this thing to get out of control in this country.
Someone put on the text line, I don't see us ever going to a flat tax because it would put tens of thousands of CPAs and other tax preparers out of business. The impact on the economy would literally be devastating.
Would it though? I mean, I'm sure they'd find something else to do. But the flat tax, Steve Forbes pushed that for years and years, and it was finally just kicking a dead horse because the fairest way you could do it is if you make $1 million, you pay 10%. You're clearly paying a hell of a lot more than somebody makes $50,000 a year. I just don't know why it just doesn't make sense.
But why would
Because it's not as easy to raise. It's not as easy to say, well, you can divide and conquer and play the envy game because this person is richer than you, they should pay more. Well, if they're 10% of their income is a lot more than 10% of my income, so they are paying a lot more.
Right, it's not pitting one group against the other.
Correct, and that's what they can't have. They because then if it went up a percentage point, everyone would notice it immediately.
But why would it put CPAs out of business? Maybe they wouldn't have as many complicated tax returns to do, but there are still things you can write off.
I would
think
there
would still be
still
needed
be
for that. It's still
some
complicated, and people like me who stress out about taxes it'd be worth it to pay a CPA or, again, have my husband do them for free.
Yeah. I don't know why Michael wouldn't do that for your friends, too.
You want him to do your
For
taxes
free.
for free, Ethan?
just
Should I
saying.
offer his services to you guys?
I mean, I would take it.
He's probably listening, so. Hey, just so you know, Michael, you're not done this year yet. You have more taxes to do.
No. My taxes are done.
Mine too.
Yeah, I had to we got a nasty surprise this year. I mentioned this a year earlier in the year. They changed the law in 24, January 24, to allow people who had not, who were police officers, school teachers, and all that, who had not paid into Social Security, then became eligible to receive Social Security. Before they couldn't, and now they can if they've worked the required number of quarters, then they qualify. Or if their spouse worked the required number of quarters and they passed away for whatever reason, you would be eligible to take their benefit. So my mom got a lump sum payment dating back to the day that law went into effect in 24. And now she gets a monthly Social Security check in addition to her teacher's pension. Great for her.
Mm-hmm.
Except if you've never been in the Social Security system before and you've never set the tax rate, it starts at zero. They didn't withhold any taxes from all the money they gave her last year. And I just had to write a pretty large check for her to the federal government that went in the mail yesterday.
Could you have, if they by default don't withhold anything, can you go in and manually opt
You
to do
can.
that? But the
they
argument
didn't
would be
tell
how
you.
many people would think to do that.
Thank you.
That though happened here where I didn't realize that I wasn't having taxes withheld. Yes, call me an idiot. I didn't realize it. And last year we're doing our taxes and we owed a lot more money than we thought, and it was not fun. And I had to go in and manually do it. And I don't know why most people would want taxes withheld, so you're not dealing with
I
that.
don't know why many places, I don't know why it wouldn't have just defaulted to 10%, but it did not. And that was not a good surprise. Let's put it that way. All right, quick break here. What are we talking about? Kim on a Whim.
The state of California is so mad at independent journalists like Nick Shirley, who have exposed millions, if not billions of dollars of fraud. Some state lawmakers are going to great lengths to try to prevent independent journalism.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Watch out for an accident southbound 141 approaching 21. Looks like they just moved that off to the shoulder. We've got a little bit of volume out there today. 370 eastbound at 94. Southbound 61 at 64. Well, eastbound 6440 a little slow right around Clarkson, and then east of Lindbergh through Big Bend. A slow pocket or two along northbound 270 between 55 and Ladue Road. Now, 55 is really slow through the construction zone, starting around Bayless, going up through Loughborough. 44 eastbound, slow from the 55 split to the Poplar, and some volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge at this hour. This report is brought to you by McKelvey Homes. And the McKelvey Home Spring Event is one of the best offers they've had in years. Rates as low as 4.75% and savings up to $124,000 on move-in ready homes. This event ends on May 31st, so schedule your tour today at McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
I'm going to give you a very important phone number here because it was in the 80s yesterday. We're going to get back there again before long. And if the old air conditioner decides not to cool the house down, you need to know who to call. 314-513-0091. That gets you to Air Comfort Service. And Corey and the gang will get you taken care of. You will be back in your comfort zone before you know it. Love what they do over there. Love how they stand behind their work. If you've heard that commercial, I like that. Somebody found Corey standing behind their air conditioner one day. That's clever, I just have to say. But they will do an AC cleaning check for you. And every time they do that in the month of April, so we're about halfway through the month now, they're going to donate a bag of food to the Open Door Animal Sanctuary down in High Ridge. That's pretty cool. So if you love pets and you need your AC checked anyway, call and get your AC check now with Air Comfort Service, and they will donate a bag of food for every one they do the entire month. I think that's pretty cool. They can also do 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week emergency service. So they are there when you need them. 314-513-0091 or go to aircomfortservice.com/Marc Cox. That's aircomfortservice.com/Marc Cox.
What's happening now?
We must have the enriched material out of Iran.
Quote, a lot is happening today and tomorrow. We have all the ingredients for a deal, but it's not all there yet.
97.1 FM Talk.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Marc Cox here. Beat the spring cleaning rush and zero res. This week, 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129 and whole system duct cleaning for just $5.99. Visit ZeroResSTL.com.
If you're trusting someone to manage your money, take a moment to do your homework. Make sure they are properly registered and check their professional history. I'm Denny Hoskins, Missouri Secretary of State. Our office regulates investing and works to protect investors. Call the Missouri Securities Hotline at 800-721-7996 or visit MissouriProtectsInvestors.com. Paid for by the Missouri Investor Education and Protection Fund. This is a public service announcement.
Marc Cox is St. Louis Conservative. Kim on a Whim.
Kim on a Whim is proudly brought to you by Missouri Brush Control. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. Learn more at MissouriBrushControl.com.
We should be so thankful for independent journalism and what it has exposed, especially recently. The fraud in Minnesota, the fraud in California. Remember the hotel in Minnesota that was refusing to allow ICE agents to stay there during all that crazy protesting going on?
That.
It was the independent journalist Nick Sorter who exposed that. He went undercover and he exposed that. And the hotel took some action. Just like action has been taken with the federal government investigating all of this fraud that Nick Shirley exposed in Minnesota and now California. Those videos have gone viral. Well, now California, being the liberal, psychotic state that it is trying to crack down on that. They've proposed a bill that would essentially criminalize investigative journalism.
God.
It obviously doesn't specifically say that, but let me read to you what it would do, because they've now dubbed it the Stop Nick Shirley Act. Here's what it would do. It says, individuals who provide hold on one second. The measure would outlaw sharing the photo or personal data of a provider on the internet for harassment or violent purposes. It would mirror a similar program for domestic violence survivors. The assembly member who had proposed this says, individuals who provide immigrant support services, including legal aid, humanitarian relief, case management, and advocacy, are facing targeted harassment. Now, if this...
Are they allowed to wear masks?
It's a great question,
Like
Mark.
the ICE agents?
If this is done, it says violators could face up to a $10,000 fine or a year in a county jail.
So going up and questioning them about what they're doing would suddenly put you in violation of that law.
Not going up and just questioning them, but if it sounds like if Nick Shirley in this case were to then post that video on YouTube like he has, that would fall under this because he would be at risk of exposing them. Because remember, he says, this is the name of the business, this is how much money they're receiving from the government, and these are the details of this is where they're located.
But let's just assume he did go up and interview one of them. They couldn't stop him from doing the interview. He'd just have to digitize the face or something so you couldn't recognize them. I mean, I'm not saying.
I don't think he could even say the name of the group. Like, for example, this article says the Quality Leering Center in downtown Minneapolis would be an entity that would fall under this bill that would be protected.
Wow.
I mean, really what they're doing is they're mad. California lawmakers are mad that all the fraud that I'm sure some of them knew about has been exposed, and they're trying to cover their butt. Nick Shirley has been speaking out about this, and rightfully so. Again, they're dubbing it the Stop Nick Shirley Act. I mean, this guy has had such a big impact, which is so cool because investigative journalism and especially independent journalism really is crucial to be able to expose a lot of this stuff. Because when you work for a news organization, and Mark, you can attest to this, there's a lot of red tape to cut through. You can do some great stories, but there's politics in the newsroom and you're answering to a boss, and there's just some stories that should be done, and for whatever reason, they'll tell you no. But when you're an independent journalist like Nick Shirley, who's not being paid by anybody, I mean, he, I guess, has supporters, but it's not like he's answering to some specific boss, a company, and he has to adhere to their, dumb logo like we have at the local TV stations. Yeah. He can do whatever the heck he wants, and that's what they don't like. It gives him freedom to go around and expose all of this junk that's been going on.
They can't control him at all. That's amazing.
So let's hope that this doesn't pass, because it already got through one committee last week, and now it's being reviewed by another committee in California, and then it would potentially be going to the full assembly for a vote.
They get one of those common sense committees. Could they transport one of those?
I don't think they're familiar with the term common sense in California, Mark.
No, they are not at all. All right, coming up, if you missed the show Saturday night, Jimmy Failla was fantastic, and we're going to get him back on the air here this morning at about 20 minutes after the hour. And at the bottom of the hour, Taylor Riggs. The markets are responding well to word that there might be more Iran talks taking place. Oil prices are dropping a bit. We'll get an update from the one and only Taylor Riggs at 8:35.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Cards, the Guardians.
Siteman Cancer Center game time 12:15. Play ball! Siteman Cancer Center, national leader in cancer.
The home of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Missouri Brush Control is helping landowners reclaim their property with selective land clearing. Whether it's for a building site, pasture reclamation, hunting, or trail creation, Missouri Brush Control can transform your unusable acreage into accessible and productive property. Enjoy your land the way you've always dreamed of. 5-star rated on Google reviews. See impressive before and after projects today at MissouriBrushControl.com. Missouri Brush Control, making acreage great again. Tell them Bo Matthews sent you to MissouriBrushControl.com.
Man, I love this place.
I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Annie Fry here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They are the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Another round of U.S.-Iran talks could come tomorrow. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and President Trump thinks the conflict will end soon.
I mean, I view it as very close to over. You know what? If I pulled up stakes right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild that country.
And the president tells Fox Business oil and gas prices will come way down once there's a deal with Iran, but he knew there would be a big spike up when he attacked Iran.
And I was willing to do that, to stop a nuclear weapon to be used against this country or the Middle East.
For a third day, the U.S. military has a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz on Iran's ports.
U.S. Central Command continues to block Iranian ports with more than a dozen support vessels. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper explained the impact of this move, saying, quote, an estimated 90% of Iran's economy is fueled by international trade by sea. In less than 36 hours since the blockade was implemented, U.S. forces have completely halted economic trade going into and out of Iran by sea. The Iranians are now responding to the blockade, with the IRGC threatening to target any U.S. ships in the area.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Vice President Vance, who brokered the first round of Iran talks over the weekend, spoke at a Turning Point USA event last night at the University of Georgia, but the group's leader, Erica Kirk, did not, citing serious threats she's gotten 7 months after her husband, conservative activist Charlie Kirk, was assassinated.
She's trying to make sure that Charlie's legacy doesn't die. And in that context, everybody is attacking her over everything, and they're lying about her, and it's one of the most disgraceful things that I've ever seen in public life.
There are 2 House seats vacant the morning after 2 congressmen resigned. Republican Tony Gonzalez, who had an affair with a staffer who later committed suicide, and Democrat Eric Swalwell, accused of rape or sexual misconduct by 5 women, allegations Swalwell denies.
His attorney saying in a statement, these accusations are false, fabricated, and deeply offensive, a calculated and transparent political hit job.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. America's listening to Fox News.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade on every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in the live market. No house and no odds maker. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app, use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Good morning on this tax day. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. Cloudy and 73 degrees now at 8:03. A wild update to the city council race in St. Charles that ended with a 1-vote difference. Turns out it was actually a tie. It all came down to a provisional ballot that election officials verified on Monday. Under the city's charter, candidates Chris Kyle and Bill Otto may now draw lots to determine which of them will serve on the council. So this could mean flipping a coin, drawing straws, or even pulling numbers out of a hat. The Ferguson police officer who suffered a serious brain injury after he was attacked during a protest in 2024 is back home in St. Louis. Officer Travis Brown has been doing rehab for months in Georgia. Well, he'll continue doing that right here in St. Louis. To celebrate Officer Brown's homecoming, Ferguson Police will be at Heaven's Creamery today at 3 o'clock, his favorite spot. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page has filed a lawsuit against County Council and its chair, Rita Hurd Days, over how much power he has while he's traveling internationally. Page is preparing to leave for London on Sunday amid ongoing budget disagreements. According to a county ordinance, if the county executive is out of the country, the chair of the council then acts as the county executive. Because of this, Page is requesting a temporary restraining order to try to prevent the transfer of power during his trip. In sports, the Cards rallied for a 6-5 win over the Guardians yesterday after 10 innings. They'll wrap up that series today at Busch Stadium with a day game. First pitch, 12:15. Another win for the Blues. They beat the Penguins yesterday, 7-5. And St. Louis City faces FC Tulsa in the round of 32 tonight. 7 o'clock the start time. This, by the way, is part of the U.S. Open Cup. 73 degrees now at 8:05. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We've got what looks like a stall on westbound 270 headed for Riverview, coming off of the Chain of Rocks Bridge. I just put this up on X at Susan6768. And anybody who drives this knows that there's only 2 lanes through there and a bunch of construction. Well, the right lane is blocked. So, of course, that is causing a delay in that area. It's not quite back to the Canal Bridge, but almost. Also slow this morning, eastbound 370 at 94. Eastbound 70 looks pretty good from out west into downtown. 64 has some moderate volume around Clarkson and then east of Lindbergh through Big Bend. Westbound is mostly slow, Clayton Skinker through Hanley. Northbound 270, it's only moderate volume. 21 through Ladue Road. 55, though, is slowing at Bayless in the work zone. And there's volume westbound 5564 from 70 across the Poplar Street Bridge. Yeah, that looks like where it is. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Triton Exteriors. We take care of your home. It's that simple. Triton-STL.com. Home improvement projects can come with a lot of headaches. We save you time by offering packaged services that are easy to understand and based on your needs. We take care of the details so you don't have to. Visit us at Triton-STL.com. That's Triton-STL.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We stay in the spring, early summer weather pattern. A little unsettled looking sky on this Wednesday. A mix of clouds and sunshine, windy and warm. And let's keep an eye out for some scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms, but no all-day rain. 82 for the high. This is not a widespread thunderstorm event for us. On to tonight. Scattered showers, couple of thunderstorms, 64. Thursday, partly sunny. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
71 degrees downtown at the Arch now at 8:07. You can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you wherever you go. Listen to the show anytime with our free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Hey, welcome back. A few minutes after 8 here on your Wednesday morning. Glad you're with us. 15th day of the month of April. You know what that means. The tax man cometh. If you owe cash or something like that, you're going to have to get it postmarked by today. It's probably going to be Kim. I can remember back in the day, they would send us out on tax day down to the post office downtown here at 10 o'clock at night, and we'd be out there doing a live shot with a line of cars around the corner because it was one of those post offices where they would take your letter and they'd stamp it right there before they put it in the box. So you could guarantee to get it stamped before midnight on the 15th. And they don't do that anymore. I guess they don't need to.
Well, people just do it electronically now. I mean, I know some people, I think we actually, did we mail check? I think we mailed a check-in, but still, I mean, most people are just doing it online now.
Paying online
yeah,
too? I thought you still had to send them a check.
Well, I think you can, but don't you have the option in many cases to just pay online?
Pay online? I don't know. You can take a payment online. I know from them. I didn't know that you made an electronic payment, but I guess it's possible.
Oh, and you can file an extension, but you still have to pay something because you have to estimate what your taxes would be.
Or, and this will be controversial, you could decide that because you don't like Trump, you're not going to pay. And then what happens?
Now, that is called tax fraud, right?
Last time I checked, that would be referred to as well. Is it tax fraud or is it just tax
evasion?
Tax evasion. That's probably.
But that feels like tax fraud. You're defrauding the federal government because you owe them money. I mean, none of us like paying taxes, but news flash to the people who are trying to do this out of protest to Donald Trump or the war in Iran, you still have to pay them. I didn't want my tax dollars going to fund abortion and pay for ridiculous stuff that goes on with Planned Parenthood, but we had to go about that the right way, which was legislatively. You don't just choose to not pay your taxes because you're not happy about it.
My guess is they could qualify for the Americans with Disabilities Act if they really tried. If they're that dumb, and then they might get some additional tax benefit out of it. You think? I'm just trying to help the people here.
Though the fact that some of them were trying to say the IRS doesn't have enough resources to come after me. If enough people don't pay, we'll just get away with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to see that happen. Maybe that will be the case for some of those people, but I'll bet you a good number of those who say I'm not paying my federal taxes this year will be either fined, have their passport revoked, or some of them, if you owe enough, could be actually thrown in jail.
They're gonna feel the wrath of Uncle Sam here at some point, probably. All right, we got lots to get to. Here's still Jimmy Failla coming up in the next segment. We're going to talk to Taylor Riggs, co-anchor of the Big Money Show on Fox Business as well at the bottom of the hour. She just breaks it down so easily. We can talk more about gas prices and what it looks like the stock market is doing this morning based on word that negotiations with Iran will resume. And we'll get to all that for you right after we get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Jesus himself did not run around saying, I'm the Messiah, I'm the Messiah.
Wow. Joy Behar there trying to school all you theologians out there. I don't know if anybody wants to step up and challenge her on that. Wait a minute, the Gospel of John. I am he, in referring to himself as the Messiah. That almost sounds biblical. Kim, do you think Joy Behar's ever read the Bible?
Has she ever picked up a Bible?
Maybe not.
Probably not.
The war that began in 1939 ended. But in the ideological dialogue between the two worlds and two leaders, Roosevelt lost the war. The real victor was Adolf Hitler. It is my personal opinion that the contemporary world is moved by the ideas that served as the foundation on which Hitler rose to power.
So this guy is, I don't know, is he a darling of the left? Hassan Piker. I'm sure he was singing From the River to the Sea at some point, but he's sure making a lot of headlines these days with some of his ridiculous stuff.
I want to turn around to one guy and say, Barack, what are you doing? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. I feel like he should be standing to the right and I should be standing to the left.
Wow. Joe Biden's at an event and he mistakes some other black guy for Barack Obama. I mean, why do they let him out of the home these days? It's really getting quite embarrassing.
Deportation Data Project reveals how Missouri is seeing one of the sharpest increases in immigration enforcement in the country, nearly tripling compared to the end of the Biden administration.
Amen. How about that? Fox 2 to the rescue. Fox 2 is sounding the alarm, in case you didn't know that, Kim, that Missouri immigration enforcement has tripled. Isn't that good news?
So what's their point? There's got to be a but
to
this.
It's hurting families.
Oh, okay,
wait
there
for
it is.
We had to do the story that immigration has been tripled and it's affecting St. Louis families. Well, it would affect families of people who are here
illegally.
Yes.
And more than 3,200 people have been taken into custody since January 2025. And here in St. Louis, advocates say the impact is hitting families hard. With arrests climbing to nearly 2.7 times higher than just a year ago, on any given day, hundreds of ICE detainees are being held in facilities across Missouri.
Even though we don't see ICE on the streets the way they were in Minneapolis or Chicago or LA, that same destruction of families is happening here.
It's a destruction of families. So this is an attorney, right? She's a pro illegal immigration attorney. And, of course, what she won't say is the reason we're not seeing it like we did in Minneapolis is because local police cooperate with ICE.
Bingo.
And the criminals are being picked up in jail, not in raids on the streets where a bunch of wackos might show up and try to stand in front of their car or attack them while they're doing their job. They do it the right way.
I would just like these news stations to actually tell it like it is. So when you're in journalism, you're taught to find a CCC, a central compelling character to kind of wrap your whole story around, because that's what really gets people's emotions. It helps them lock onto your story. And so I just imagine them going out and actually, if they were to tell the truth, to say, Juan has been here illegally in the United States for 15 years. He's mooched off our country. For all 15 of them, he crossed into the border, was deported, and crossed back into the border, and he feels like this is ridiculous. Like, if they actually told the story of some of these people who were here in the country, people wouldn't feel nearly as bad for them. But when you show the father and the mother and the kids, you'd be heartless to not feel sad if a family's being ripped apart. But guess what? If you're deported, it doesn't mean you're being ripped apart. It just means you have to move. You need to pick up the entire family, just like the Baldwin man. You have to pick up your entire family and go back to where you came from and do it the right way.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated. It's complicated, but the answer is not that complicated.
We've just enforced the law, but the local media has to play it like all of these families are being ripped apart because the law is being enforced. Is what I'd like to say to Jessica Mayo, that attorney you heard from just a minute ago. All right. You can watch that yourself on Fox 2 News if you choose to. Coming up, we're going to get to the one and only Jimmy Failla. Can't wait to talk to him about his experience here in St. Louis. The guy got here, landed at the airport, and drove straight to Chuck Berry's original homestead, because that's just what he does when he visits these different towns. And we're going to talk to him about that when we come back.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
On the roads this morning, we've got a little bit of volume northbound 55 at Bayless, the usual there in the construction zone. Northbound 270, a slow pocket or two. It's mainly moderate volume. Gravois through Ladue Road. 64 eastbound isn't bad. Some slow-moving traffic at Clarkson in the Inner Belt and westbound at Clayton Skinker. We still have some slow-moving traffic. There was an earlier stall westbound on the Chain of Rocks Bridge, and that created a delay through there this morning. Plus, it's road work over there. On the Illinois side, again, some slow-moving traffic just for the Poplar, but also on northbound 5570 past 157. This report is brought to you by i3 Broadband. Spring is here. Time to throw out the old treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, they're springing forward with their longest price guarantees ever on their gig speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Well, you can't talk about Hanson's Tree Service without talking about the guy that founded it, Jeff Hanson, passed away tragically, and they hold an event every year their sporting clay event for the Jeff Hansen Memorial Foundation. That's coming up again Saturday, May 16th. And I'm sure you can find details at hansenstree.com about all of that if you want to take part in that and support what they do. They take that money and they put it back into the community, which is fantastic. In the meantime, if you need mulch, if you need trees trimmed, there's only one company to pick, and that is Hansen's Tree. They can get to your house here locally. They'll deliver the mulch. If you own a home at the Lake of the Ozarks or maybe down in Branson, guess what? They have operations there as well. So that one phone call to 636-379-1830 can take care of all of it for you. So reach out today. Make sure you tell them that Marc Cox sent you. It is hansenstree.com.
Heidi Ricken Provost of Ricken Financial understands the importance of financial stability in your retirement plans.
If there's something we can do to help benefit your financial future and provide more strength and stability in your retirement plan, that's exactly what we do here. And we do so on a complimentary basis.
Call today, 314-207-6211 or online at rickenfinancial.com and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us. You know, what an event we had on Saturday night out at the factory in Chesterfield. The place filled up, and the vast majority of the people in there, I'm convinced, were 97.1 listeners because a bunch of them came up and talked to us. The whole crew was out there. Kim St. Ange and her husband Michael, my wife, Dan Buck, Wiggins, Brad Range, everybody showed up along with Tricia to watch the one and only Jimmy Failla.
Hey, girl. Jimmy Failla in the house from Fox Across America.
Yeah, welcome back, Jimmy. Have you recovered from your trip to Missouri?
Yo, it lived up to the hype, did it not?
It did.
Had such a great night. And I stand by my campaign promise that venue was way too classy for my act. Like, I loved it. We had the greatest time. We all burnt it to the ground. But, man, like, what a facility. My God, and what a crowd. Like, you guys did a phenomenal job. I hope you're taking a bow. I can't because I'm too fat right now to get back up.
So after the event, I have to say, Jimmy and I stepped next door to Napoli Brothers out there in the district and had a little food. And we walked. Before we even got to the door, people started wanting pictures with Jimmy Failla. I felt I was just in the presence of a star there.
You stop it. The coolest part about that, because I do, honestly, I get recognized everywhere I go because I'm the only TV host who's not on Ozempic. Like, that is a thing. I'm very identifiable compared to normal TV people who are, like, skinny and terrified. But what was actually reassuring is when we got to Napoli Brothers, it was the maitre d' who came over and was like, holy God, you're in town. Oh, my God, I got to take a picture of my family. And the reason I was most excited about that is because when you're walking into a restaurant, the maitre d' being a fan is a lot more helpful and comforting than the maitre d' not being a fan. You know what I'm saying? Hey, fellas, make this guy a special bowl of spaghetti, if you know what I'm saying. You know? That was good. That could have went the wrong way.
Yes, it could have. Well, we certainly enjoyed having you out here. And I said to people who don't do broadcasting for a career, I'm like, the best thing about seeing Jimmy live is that it's Jimmy unfiltered, which you have to take that filter off that you use on TV and radio all the time, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. You're getting the guy who drops F-bombs on Marc Reardon's show. That's what you're getting when you go to see me live. You're getting to see the full version because that really is, there's no other better way to explain it. That is my natural habitat. Like, I made it to Fox News and got a radio show and a TV show because of the guy you saw at the factory the other night, which is just a dude telling a bunch of ridiculous jokes who was raised the right way in comedy. What that means is, and I said this the other night, is, comedy really is, at its core, it's an opportunity to treat each other like adults who know the difference between a joke and a hate crime. So you can say a lot of unfathomably crazy things in that hour, and nobody sitting there goes, wow, I wonder if he means it, because you don't care. It's irrelevant if I mean it. The point is we're just having fun. And it was so cool to see that many people who are in on the ultimate joke, which is, we're just trying to have fun, man. I mean, how could you not live it up right now? We're in a war with Iran, and when that wraps up, we're going to bomb the Pope. I mean, it's a wild time to be alive, you guys.
And Trump is Jesus. He's basically the same.
It is my favorite. All right, listen, man. I said this on my radio show. This is what people have to wrap their heads around, because it's true. He, in a million years, did not think that was an offensive tweet. Why? Okay, because he tweets images of himself being Rocky Balboa, the X-Men. He's not thinking, other than this made me laugh, here's a tweet. And the moral of the story is, just because he sells Bibles with his name on them doesn't mean he's reading them, you guys. That was my takeaway. You don't have to read them to sell them.
Yeah, that's a great point. Jimmy, the one thing about your show that surprised me a little bit was taking questions from the audience. And I know you ask people, ask me anything you want about Fox News. Did you have a favorite question from the crowd here in St. Louis?
No, the favorite crowd was the one that I still don't understand. It was the guy in the balcony who asked if the taxi lights were always on my dashboard. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I was trying to translate it into English. It was like a Bad Bunny concert. And go ahead.
I couldn't believe you could understand what people were saying. I'm thinking, how are you hearing what they're asking from stage? Do you have crazy good hearing?
You know what the trick is? It's pretty good at picking up things, because this goes back to cab driver training. You have to decide if the woman in the back seat is getting lipstick out of her purse or that's a handgun. And you usually can't look because you're driving down the road. So what I do in that environment is, whenever somebody asks a question, obviously I repeat it so the room knows what I'm responding to. Because it is kind of crazy. And in that venue, because it was so big and it was so dark, you couldn't actually see anybody. So it was like I was just hearing voices and talking back to them. It's a lot like being Joe Biden, actually. That's the best way to describe it.
Biden was out again yesterday. I don't know why they keep letting the guy out. I don't know if you saw that or not, but like what he said was like you couldn't even understand it. Like it was indistinguishable.
We had a funny moment. I was on the 5 yesterday, and during the commercial break, everyone saw the clip, and Harold Ford, who I love, who's a great sport, we were talking about the video of Biden thinking this black man was Obama. And obviously we all had the same reaction, which is that's usually a problem. You know what I'm saying, Lawrence Jones? And he just died laughing. He's like, hey, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
I see what you did there.
Well, I mean, it's almost elder abuse that they're still putting him out in front of a microphone. Where's Dr. Jill?
I mean, that's the problem. Is Trump wasn't the first person to confuse himself with a medical doctor. Joe Biden was, and we're seeing the proof every time they hand that man a microphone.
She's the one pushing him to the microphone. Don't you think? She's the one who's like, "Oh yeah, you've got this. Keep going."
Totally. Because you know what? At his core, what they're trying to do is he's doing these appearances because they're trying to raise money for a presidential library because they don't have the money. And it's crazy because it's a historic. The Joe Biden library would be the first presidential library written in scratch and sniff. So that's actually, I will donate to that.
There you go.
Photo pen books written in scratch and sniff. Let's go.
Where'd all that money from China go? That's what I want to know. That's the big question, huh? Jimmy, always great having you on, and we loved having you in town, brother. Thank you.
You guys are the best. Take care.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Jimmy Failla, the one and only. And I don't know if I told this story on the radio or not, but Jimmy and I are walking out with the last two in the building. We're walking out the back door. He stops at the stage manager's office at the factory, talks to the guy by name. I didn't even remember his name, and tips the stage manager. Nobody would have seen that had I not been standing there, but that's just the kind of guy he is. He's worked for a living his whole life, and he understands and appreciates that. I thought that was pretty cool. Spoke a lot about Jimmy there. All right, coming up, we'll get to Taylor Riggs from the Big Money Show. Stay tuned.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
I'm here with my friend Stewie. And, Stuart, I know a lot of people are talking about lowering their monthly payments with their mortgage, but there are other smart ways to save lots more dollars, like maybe going to a shorter loan. What about this tug of war between the president and the Fed? Rates going down, maybe going up. What do people need to know right now?
All right, Annie, you know what's going on in the government. It's causing interest rates to go down. Now, this is a great opportunity. A lot of people call us all the time and say, hey, what's the rate? I can lower my payment. I can do better cash flow. And I understand that. Quality of life is having more money in your pocket so you can enjoy life overall. But have you thought about going from a 30-year to a 20-year mortgage? Interest rates on a 30-year mortgage are higher than interest rates on a 20. Maybe convert the 30 to a 20, keep the payment about the same, and save hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Call 314-324-4440 or text 314-324-4440 and ask Stewie about the bagel loan. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. OpenAI is changing its strategy. CNBC reports that the company has abandoned plans to rent compute capacity directly from a Norwegian data center, days after confirming it paused a similar project in the UK. OpenAI is now in discussions to rent capacity from Microsoft instead. The Financial Times reports Uber has committed more than $10 billion to buying thousands of autonomous vehicles and taking stakes in their developers. Uber is positioning itself as a marketplace for multiple robo-taxi operators and has partnered with various autonomous vehicle industry leaders, including Baidu, Rivian, and Lucid. Walmart's going to look a little different. The retail giant said its largest private brand, Great Value, is getting a fresh look. Starting in May, the brand's approximately 10,000 items that span from LED light bulbs to frozen chicken nuggets will hit the shelves in new packaging. Walmart first launched the brand in 1993. Futures are mixed this morning after a positive day on Wall Street yesterday. That's Your Money Now.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Still a little bit of volume out there. Northbound 55 around Bayless, northbound 270 around Manchester, and eastbound 64, some moderate volume at Clarkson and 170 through Big Bend. Westbound is pretty slow at Clayton Skinker. 70 looks good from out west into downtown. We've got a little bit of a slowdown westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge, nothing too terrible. And northbound 5570, a little bit slow on the Illinois side around 157, and then it opens up. This report brought to you by McKelvey Homes. The McKelvey Homes spring event is one of the best offers they've had in years. Rates as low as 4.75% and savings up to $124,000 on move-in ready homes. The event ends May 31st. Schedule your tour today at McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
All right, just reading another great review from a Rhino Shield job that just got finished up out in Pacific. And look, it says right on here that the crew did great work. They were timely and professional, good quality workmanship. I am impressed with Rhino Shield. They said what they would do. They showed up and on time, and they finished on schedule. A very satisfied customer from Laura. And I mean, that's fantastic. So nice of them to say those kind words. But, you know, I'm a satisfied customer myself, and I had the exact same experience. They had unpainted brick and aluminum and some hardy siding and got it all covered up, and the colors just pop because this is beautiful. It is 10 times thicker than regular paint, right? It is 100% waterproof, but it's the same bright, beautiful colors you are going to get from that thinner paint. It just lasts and lasts and lasts. They'll give you a 25-year warranty on this, a guarantee that it won't chip, crack, or peel for all that time, and they can put it on your commercial buildings, your business, your church, your condo, you name it. They have done thousands of these Rhino Shield applications for anywhere in the sound of my voice, all the way to the Lake of the Ozarks. So reach out today. Tell them you want a free estimate on this beautifully durable product. It's 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Are your windows drafty, outdated, or hard to open? Choose Infinity from Marvin Windows. Crafted from durable fiberglass for superior energy efficiency, beauty, and performance. At Lakeside Renovation and Design, we specialize in custom-fit professional window installations that transform your home. Plus, with our lifetime workmanship warranty, you'll have peace of mind for years to come. Call Lakeside today or visit windowsbylakeside.com to schedule your free window consultation. Replace with confidence. Choose Infinity from Marvin.
Sunday, April 26th is packed with fun. When the Cardinals welcome the Seattle Mariners, you can score a classic chain-stitch Cardinals hat presented by Coca-Cola. Plus, kids 12 and under receive a Fredbird Hall of Fame ring presented by the Pasta House Company. And get the chance to run the bases after the game. Giveaways, post-game fun, and Cardinals baseball all in one big Sunday showdown. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Matthew Liberatore. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fredbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/KidsSunday.
From O'Fallon, Missouri to O'Fallon, Illinois. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
I mean, the backdrop has changed. I know it's been only a month or so, but oil prices are up 50%. The stock market had a tough first quarter.
By the way, you're
now,
right.
Stocks are
you're
still
right, but
up.
they're not up. I mean, honestly,
You thought it was gonna be
I thought
worse.
there'd be much.
And I was willing to do that to stop a nuclear weapon to be used against this country or the Middle East, anybody in the Middle East. They were going to take out the Middle East. To stop that, it was certainly worthwhile, being much higher than it is right now. If you told me that we were going to be at only $92 a barrel, $92 a barrel, I would have been very surprised.
All right.
And
so
you know what? I'm very happy. And it's going to come dropping down very big as soon as it's over. And
That's the president talking to Maria Bartiromo. That story that just aired this morning. So this is fresh sound from the president talking about that. He thought oil prices would be much worse. Listen.
I think it can be over very soon.
So
if they're smart, it will end soon.
Look at 100 deals a day. I choose one.
Nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in circles.
The most valuable commodity I know of is information.
Who is that girl?
I'm Taylor Riggs.
Yes, she is. Happy Tax Day, Taylor. How are you?
Happy Tax Day to all those who pay. The bottom 30 to 40% of people who don't pay.
No kidding. You know, we were giving Kim grief earlier because she said even when she knew she would be getting a refund, she rarely filed before the deadline. I'm like, wow, man, I go in February if I know they're giving me money back.
Of course, you got to do it.
What about the president's comments there? What's that doing to the market? He thinks this is going to be over soon. He's telling people he thought oil prices would be much worse, according to him this morning.
Yeah, you know, the market believes it. The S&P 500 is back to a record. The record was 69.80, intraday high of 7,000 all the way back in January, and we are right back there. And it has been a V-shaped recovery. My chart of the day yesterday, which I'll put out on social, I love it, shows that on average since 1939, during big geopolitical events, the market bottoms 21 days, 3 weeks, after the conflict begins, and then rebounds by, 4 to 5 to 6 weeks after that. And we are exactly back to where we were. We're 100 points higher on the S&P 500 than where we were Friday, February 27th before this started. So, look, I'm not discounting the pain people feel at the pump. That is real. But if you, for a market perspective, had just stayed the course, not sold, not panicked, you are higher now, and we are back to records that we saw in January. So, look, and when it comes to oil prices, the interesting thing is that oil equities, the stock market, has totally decoupled from oil. Usually when oil goes up, the stock market went down. Now oil is going up, and the stock market's deciding they're going to go up too.
Right.
Because they think that long-term this is going to be over. The December futures for oil are all the way back down in the 70s. So they're thinking that in the next couple weeks, next couple months, this thing could be over.
Well, let's hope so. You know, somebody said, I heard Tim Burchett, the congressman from Tennessee, say this the other day in one of his self-made videos that he makes walking around in his Carhartt. He was at a gas station, and he was complaining about, he was suggesting he was getting gouged to some extent, because he said when you walk in on the store shelf at the convenience store, the price of a quart of oil has not gone through the roof like the price of a gallon of gasoline, which I think is interesting because I had the same experience this weekend. I had to buy some oil for my truck, and it was like $56 for the 2.5 gallon bottle, which is about the same as it was a couple of months ago, the last time I bought the oil.
Yeah, so we live in an imperfect world, and I think you're right, where there's a lot of frustration because, I mean, big oil needs to be thanking President for even remaining in business. Big oil would be totally out of business. They'd be shut down and bankrupt had the Biden administration been here.
Wow.
So they need to be thanking the president that they're minting money right now. I mean, if they're break even, the cost that they can even make money is at $40, $50, $60 a barrel. At 90 or 100, they're minting money. So I think some of the frustration, and I'm a capitalist, but I think the frustration is that they're always really quick to increase prices on the way up.
Yeah.
And then, as we talked about, they're going to be really slow to lower prices on the way down. You and I have also talked about it. This is a global market. So even though WTI, like what we use here in the U.S., we have a lot of it. It's just priced on a global market. So the global traders are just looking at this and they're, looking at the futures and the spot price of oil, and they're thinking Strait of Hormuz is shut down, oil goes up. It's not as simple as, well, we have more here in the U.S., so prices shouldn't rise. So unfortunately, it's just a global market. And there's going to be some of those stories that you hear about, which is extremely unfortunate, where I don't think we really quite understand beyond just global traders pricing this as global supply and global demand, how diesel can go up, how gas at the pump can go up, but inside the store, things aren't going up.
Yeah.
So I wish I had a better answer. That we're not in a perfect world, and capitalism is not perfect.
Someone was trying to talk about the profit margin for these gas stations. Mark and I think it's higher, especially lately, but someone was trying to say it's actually about 1%, and that the gas stations make the bulk of their money from what people are buying inside, snacks and beer. Do you have any idea what the typical profit margin is for these gas stations?
I'll look into it and get back to you next week. What's interesting is grocery stores we've talked about are 1% to 2% margins. So if a convenience store we're thinking is similar to a grocery store, then those margins are not very good. So I can look into, let me see if I can find the breakdown between the margins on the actual gas versus margins of what they get in the store. But I would imagine they're probably, not making a lot based on I don't think going from $3.50 a gallon from $3 is going to all of a sudden make sure that they're minting money.
Yeah.
I would be hard to believe that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Taylor Riggs, our guest. Hey, since it's tax day, and I was reading some facts earlier in the show about that, and I think this came from the Tax Foundation. But all of this talk from Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris and others about how you have to pay your fair share. We want to tax the rich. Kathy Hochul wants to re-import them back from Miami to New York so she can tax them a little more. And then this statistic stands out. The top 1% of taxpayers account for more income taxes paid than the bottom 90% combined.
Yep. And you don't think that that's your fair share? You know what? My new thing, let's tax them at 100%. Why not? That's eventually what these people want to do. They don't believe in capitalism. They believe in wealth confiscation. That's what this is. This is not about the fair share. If it was fair share, then it would be we're paying 50% of our income. I'm doing that because I'm in New York State and New York City and the federal government. To me, 50% is my fair share. That's effectively socialism.
Yes.
And I'm not even a high earner. So if they want to do more than that, it's wealth confiscation. We're trying that experiment here in New York City. We're trying to raise property taxes on everyone by 10%. This is the best promotion for federalism. Our founders in this country were brilliant because they said, if you want to try socialism in New York City, let's try the opposite in Florida, and let's have every 50 different states decide their own path forward. The founders were brilliant, and we're seeing the benefits of federalism play out in real time because, yes, people are going to lower tax states. And my governor, Kathy Hochul, is pleading for all of them to come back because we raised taxes and they all left. How dare they? They're so unpatriotic.
Taylor, now soon you'll be able to go to one of Zohran Mamdani's city-owned grocery stores that he was touting yesterday, where prices, I guess the profit margin's going to be basically nothing, and they're going to have lower prices. So there you go.
Well, my favorite thing is it's costing them $30 million to build it. So they said they're going to build 5 grocery stores for for 10, what are my numbers? For $100 million. 30 million of that is already going to just one store alone.
Wow.
So this is going to be really exciting. Here's another plot twist. We don't believe in prosecuting theft. So what happens when that government-run grocery store gets raided by robbers? They don't prosecute crime here in New York City. Are we just going to let everyone loot the store?
Sure.
Guess so.
The taxpayers end up being even bigger losers after that happens, for sure. Taylor, thanks so much for your time today.
You got it. Have
All right.
a good one.
We'll be watching the Big Money Show today on the Fox Business Network. It airs starting at noon Central Time there if you want to catch Taylor and the other folks on there. Yeah.
By the way, could Taylor train all the employees at different stores? Because when I said, hey, do you know such and such? And she says, I don't, but let me look into it and I'll report back to you next week. I don't expect her to do that. She's very busy. Instead of going to the store, you're looking around for something you want to buy and you say, hey, person who works here, can you point me in the direction of such and such item? And they say, I don't know. Figure it out. Tell me. You know what? Let me go ask somebody who does know and I'll get back with you. It's very simple.
Let me work on that for you.
I don't know.
Taylor's great. She'll probably come back with an answer.
She probably will
for us next week.
Yeah,
she will. All right, we'll get to a quick break and be back in just a minute. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
On the roads this morning, we're still looking like we've got a little bit of volume out there. Northbound 270, mainly headed for Doherty Ferry. And southbound 170 at 64. Eastbound 64 just a little slow as you approach 170. And 70 looks great from out west into downtown. 55 isn't bad. A little moderate volume at Bayless, but that's it. And some moderate volume every now and then westbound on the Poplar. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Well, how about some spring cleaning time for you? And Zero Res can help out with that. I love what they do at Zero Res. They're going to clean your house. It's going to be chemical free. It's going to be residue free. They don't leave any of that behind when they use their Zero Res, and it is beautiful. They Zero Resify everything. Your carpeting, your upholstery, your tile, they can do it all, and they can even clean your air ducts at the same time. So as allergy season comes along, you can eliminate all of those allergens in advance. How about that? And here's the great deal they're offering you this week. A different offer every week in April. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Plus, you can do the whole system air duct cleaning for just $5.99. That's a good deal. So reach out to them and let them know you heard Marc Cox talking about it. You want to get your spring cleaning taken care of in one fell swoop. You let Zero Res take over, and they're going to get it done. Here is the phone number, 314-474-2020, or just go online to ZeroResSTL.com. What you need to do is let them know you want the 97.1 special. Again, ZeroResSTL.com.
97.1 FM Talk in Action is spotlighting Our Ladies Inn, providing safe shelter, care, and support for pregnant women and children facing homelessness. Since 1982, they've helped local families build stable, independent futures. Learn more at OurLadiesInn.org.
The Cards, the Guardians.
Siteman Cancer Center game time 12:15. Play ball. Siteman Cancer Center, national leader in cancer.
The home of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. With credit card balances at an all-time high and Golden Oak's 4.5% rate, you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call. Call today and get your cash in as little as 14 days and make no payments for 2 months. Call 314-567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.442 APR, FHA 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit, additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Looking for a career change? The Gelman team with eXp Realty is hiring. Their unmatched blueprint to success, real support, and proven systems help agents take their business to the next level, level up your future and your earning potential. Take the first step to see if you're a perfect fit at thegelmanteam.com.
How would you like a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter of St. Louis, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer? Give yourself peace of mind now by calling for a free estimate. 314-499-2020 or GeneratorSuperCenterofStLouis.com.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
There is never enough time in the day. I have to tell you that. Here we are right up against it again and haven't gotten to this fantastic story out of Oklahoma yet, Kim. If you haven't seen the video, you need to go look at it after you listen to part of this story where a high school principal stepped in and tackled a school shooter before he could get out of the lobby, and the guy got shot in the process. Listen to this.
This morning, new video of the moment authorities say a principal charged a would-be attacker and saved his school in the process.
The actions of the staff and the principal stepping in as soon as they saw a subject with a firearm saved lives.
Police say last week the suspect, a former student, walks through the front door of Pauls Valley High School just outside of Oklahoma City, armed with 2 pistols. He looks around, appearing to rack the slide as he moves in. He then aims the gun directly at Principal Kirk Moore, who rushes the shooter. Moore shot in the lower right leg in the struggle. Court documents state the suspect, identified as 20-year-old Victor Hawkins, intended to carry out a mass shooting, telling detectives that he was inspired by Columbine. And
wow, it's pretty impressive. The principal comes out of nowhere. The guy starts to raise the gun up, and he does shoot him in the leg. Guy tackles him, gets the gun away from him.
The video's wild. The principal made some statements saying, of course they train for this, but gosh, you never really know what you would do if you were in that situation. And you just hope that the training you have done is going to kick in. And that's exactly what he says happened. He says, thankfully, the training that I had done and God's hand, they were with him. And that's essentially what allowed him to take the dude out.
Well, his name, say it out loud, is Kirk Moore, is the principal down there in Oklahoma, and I have not seen an interview with Kirk yet. But this guy was 20 years old. He graduated in 2025, and apparently came back intending to have a Columbine type moment at this school.
Wouldn't you guess Kirk Moore, the principal, is what, 60s?
Yeah, it looks like it. They said he is 60, I think.
Okay. I mean, it's impressive.
So he's been there a long time.
I mean, when you're in that role and you know that there could be the potential, sadly, for a school shooting, I can't imagine that. I mean, as principal, I would hope that somebody would step in and try to protect the kids. But, I mean, these crazy people they go to great lengths to try to harm particularly children.
Oh, sure. Well, it's why we
need
talk
security.
About school security all the time, and that there ought to be an SRO at every school, because those are people that are trained and they're ready to put their life on the line. But these schools that don't have them, they're just playing the odds that they won't be the next one.
Yep.
And you don't want to. The losers there are the children potentially, or the staff members who are going to get killed when that happens, because you didn't have somebody on the property who had the ability to fight back. I mean, he's just lucky he didn't get killed. The guy was pointing the gun at him, and he reached out and pushed it down, and the bullet went into his leg. So just a very lucky situation there, no doubt about that. All right, that's going to do it for us today. We're going to get to the Brian Kilmeade show up next here. The president made some pretty extensive comments with Maria Bartiromo this morning. I have a feeling Brian will probably have a lot of that on his show for you coming up here shortly, talking about Iran and the blockade and the new Fed chief. There were a bunch of things that he was able to talk about in that, and he'll get to that. And, of course, Annie and Marc will have full wrap-ups for you later in the day as well. Have a great Wednesday. We'll be back here Thursday morning at 5 a.m.